Silver in this event back in the Paralympic Games in 2020. Sarah Hamdi Musad of Qatar, silver back in 2017, also the year before that in the Rio Paralympics. And last but not least, Wu Qing of China, lifetime best for her of 5:43. She'll be first to go with all 6 throws taken at the same time, so one after another. She'll have had her practice goes already. And Steph, what I mentioned there just a moment or two ago about the judge looking to make sure the legs and the backside are kept down, because it's really important.
Absolutely fundamental in this event. It is called a seated throws, and as we go through the different categories, the athletes will have different use of their legs. So the only way to neutralize that, the only way to make sure it is completely fair, is to have a judge there. And actually, this has been quite a hot issue at this champs. As we've seen athletes that have had all X's, we've seen athletes that have had all X's and then come back on our system with the marks given. We've seen protests and appeals after, so much drama in these seated throws, but everything is being filmed and the technical officials are paying close attention to make sure that they get it right and that it's fair.
Well, that's a new Asian record straight up for Wu. 7.13. Her lifetime best before that was 5:43. So that is absolutely huge as far as the improvement goes. Just shows you what a bit of adrenaline does when you get to a major championship. And that first up, well, it's quite some throw, isn't it?
It's not a bad way to start. I actually think on the seated throws, I know that they're seated and we tend to see the further throwers going later, but I think going first and they didn't use all the adrenaline is awesome.
Well, she hasn't just beaten the first mark, she's absolutely smashed it. 7:54, she's gone 2 meters and 11 centimeters further than her lifetime best coming into this.
You could just see there, she was getting excited and she just really rushed that one.
Yeah, after number 3, she'll get a chance to, if she needs to reposition herself, have a drink and take a short break for a minute or so. But that one there, nowhere near the opening to, 5:71 for that one there. Even that would have beaten her lifetime best coming into this. So Wu has set a new Asian record with her very first throw, and she's then beaten it with her second one as well. So 7:54 at the moment puts her in a very strong position as far as the medals goes. And we're only on throw number 1 of 7. Just tell us about that bar as well that she's holding on to quickly.
So some of the seated athletes will have a horizontal bar. It just helps them to maintain the upright position. Again, we said there's varying use of the legs. They also have various use of their core muscles. So some athletes will need that to maintain position.
Well, we'll come back to the women's shot put F33 seated category in a moment or two's time. But we also have men's discus throw F64, which is getting underway, and a field of 5 in this one. And the announcements will be made in a moment or two's time. And to take you through it, it will be Steph Reed, MBE.
Actually, if you're going to say MBE, then you also need to add PLY, which is the designation for Paralympians.
I'm not doing that.
So right across from the seated throws, we have the men's discus final going on. We can see Lorenzo Tonetto there, and I can confirm he is very, very tall. 6'6", 2 meters, for those who prefer metric. And I have to say, height is certainly an advantage in this event. Now, it is a small field, but it's a very high-quality field, including that man in the red, David Blair, the T44 world record holder. But throwing first in the order will be Lorenzo Tonetto of Italy. He was 8th at the 2019 World Championships, and he is the national record holder. Ivan Katanusic of Croatia. Now, he was 2nd in Tokyo, just 4th, just off the podium at last year's World Championships. Harrison Walsh of Great Britain 2 global bronze, 1 at the Europeans, 1 at the Commonwealth Games. The world record holder, reigning world champion, David Blair, and a fantastic story about him. We'll get to that during the event. And rounding out the field, we have Egert Josar of Estonia. No global podiums yet. 5th in Tokyo, 6th at the World Championships. Maybe he can change that today. This is the F64 event, so for athletes with lower limb impairments. Now, a 64 does refer to an athlete that uses a prosthesis. However, in this competition, we will see a mix of F44s and F64s. F44s meaning a lower leg impairment, but they don't use a prosthesis. Taneto was a thrower in his teens, but he lost part of his leg in a car accident in 2016 and made his return to sport in 2019. Currently 49 years young, and as we said, very, very tall. Long limbs certainly an advantage. Just means you can get some extra speed through that discus. Looking on, waiting for that first mark. All athletes will get all 6 throws, as we only have 5 in this field. 41.49. Season's best of 46.26. Next into the circle will be Katanusic of Croatia. He was just off the podium at last year's World Champs, which would have been a bit of a disappointment because he did get the silver in Tokyo. That one is past the 50-meter mark. He has a season's best of 51.08, a lifetime best of 62.13. Now, it's very still today. And discus is an event that actually really enjoys a headwind. 52.24, a season's best. And Katanusic is into the very early lead.
It enjoys a headwind to hold the discus up in the air somewhat, to make it float.
Yeah, I always think about it a little bit like airplane wings. If it can get the air underneath it, it gives it that little bit of a, as you say, float, a little bit of extra hang time. Pretty handy when you want some more distance. There's definitely some meets that discus throwers will target known to have pretty heavy headwinds. We don't take a wind reading in this event like you would for the long jump or for the 100 meters. But the athletes know how to read conditions. Harrison Walsh of Great Britain. Now, he took up the discus after a knee injury, ended his career as a rugby player. Now, Telson, you played some professional rugby. How different would it be to go from a team sport like rugby to an individual sport like the discus?
Extremely difficult, because you are so reliant on teammates around you that all of a sudden you become a separate entity. I took up an individual sport after I finished playing rugby, and it does take some adjusting because you are so used to having other people around you and doing jobs as well as yours, and all of a sudden you become an individual and you have to rely on yourself, and you've only got yourself to look at, so it does become a little bit more difficult from a mental point of view more than physical.
And we just see Walsh has been given a foul for that first attempt. There was a bit of a conversation there with one of the judges, just explaining what the issue was, giving him the opportunity to correct it on the next throw. And now into the circle comes the world record holder, the T44 world record holder. He holds that record at 64.26. And this is a pretty crazy story from Blair. And he spent the early part of his career competing able-bodied. That went just over the 55-meter mark. He actually won the Utah State Championships as an able-bodied thrower in 1999, having thrown over 54 meters. Now, the crazy thing is, he didn't know about the Paralympics, and that mark, 54 meters, would have won the Sydney Paralympics in this event. But he had no idea that it was a possibility, so he decided to let that throwing career go. He got married, started a family, started his career as a database programmer. 55-12 for Blair. He is now into the lead. And it wasn't until he watched Oscar Pistorius compete in 2012 that he thought, you know what, I'm going to look into this. Maybe I'll give this a go.
Well, he hasn't done too badly, has he?
Blair was the gold medalist in Rio, dethroned in Tokyo. And rounding off the first round, Yosar of Estonia. Now, no global podiums yet. You can just see there the way that he had a bit of a sigh as he came out, possibly because of the way that discus, it almost looks like it drops out of the air if you don't quite get the rotation on it correctly.
Now, this might sound a bit strange when I say this, but for anyone out there who's watching, it's a little bit like, I suppose, if you get a bad grip in a frisbee. 46.52 season best for Yosar takes him up into the bronze medal position, but if you're throwing a frisbee and you throw it downwards and it just goes in the completely wrong way of spinning, then you're in trouble, a little bit like when you're throwing a discus. You have to make sure you throw it in the correct angle. Release has got to be right, and if you do that, you're a chance of getting a good distance.
One of the reasons why it was so tricky with that rain earlier. You can just see Taneta there making a little bit of an adjustment with his prosthesis. As a fellow artificial leg wearer myself, the legs are held on with a vacuum seal, and you always want to make sure that's set before you put all your trust in that leg, all your body weight into it. That one not quite going to plan. I think we heard a bit of a clatter there, even though we didn't see it. If the discus touches any part of that cage as it's released, the throw is always given a foul. And that actually is one of the skills of this event, being able to rotate, know where you are in that rotation to get that release point right.
A bit like a ballet dancer, isn't it, in a way? In effect, if you're pirouetting, you're having to spot as you move around.
Were you a ballerina in a former life, Delson?
I had to do dance as part of my my degree at university, so bronze medallions in Latin American and ballroom dancing, mate.
And actually, speaking of dancing and pirouettes, I was fascinated to see that both of them have chosen to do their pirouette or their dance on their artificial leg. And you just think the amount of training and balance and awareness and trust you have to have in that artificial foot to do that. That one also over the 50-meter mark. And again, at the top end of this 53.24 season's best, at the top end of this event, we will be seeing some 60-meter plus throws. As I said earlier, I'm not convinced conditions are optimal to see some really big distances today, but at a World Championships, that's not what it's about. This is about taking the win. Everyone has the same conditions. Harrison Walsh just getting past the 50-meter mark. Now, he's already competed twice this season. 53.76 in April, 52.95 in May. Great Britain's Dan Greaves is not here. We're also missing Jeremy Campbell of the USA. Two throwers known to make their way onto several podiums. Now, there was huge heartbreak for Harrison Walsh in Tokyo. An ankle injury meant he couldn't start, flew all the way out there. David. I was just going to say, just have a think about this as David Blair's throwing, but how do you peak
and then go again in a year where you've got World Championship and Paralympic. That's huge, by the way, from David Blair. It is way over that 55.12 marker, and he's in first place. So that is going to be an extension of his lead.
I think you may have heard us say we're not expecting any 60-meter marks today, and thought, actually, watch this.
Yeah, but just have a think about it, and because it is difficult to peak for something and then try and bring yourself down, then to come up again. And in a year of 2 major championships in the space of a few months, it is a difficult thing to do, which is why perhaps a few people haven't come here. 58.73, he extends his lead and his season best, up near the 60-metre mark for Blair.
I've been asking a few athletes about that, and it's been fascinating to see the different responses. A few have said, well, I would normally be competing in May anyways. What's the big deal? I will have to focus a bit more on recovery. And then others have said, actually, I see this as a huge advantage. Trenton Merrill, who competed yesterday in the long jump, picking up a bronze, said this is a huge advantage to come here and have a dry run of what I'm going to do. But then others, as you say, have chosen to stay home. Yosar taking his second throw. That first one looking to drop out of the sky. That one closer to the 50-meter mark at the moment. He is sitting in 4th position. Now we are absolutely flying through this discus. We are almost at the halfway mark. At this point, it almost becomes like an endurance event. Not much time to rest in between. Athletes just getting about 6 minutes between their throws. Tonetto currently sitting in 5th place. Now, he lost his leg in a car accident in 2016, came back to sport in 2019. And actually, it's been interesting to read some of the stories of the athletes and just see everyone, when it comes to losing a leg or having a life-changing injury, there's no norms in terms of how long it takes to come back. Some people take a year, some people take 5. But the common thing is that every athlete has, if you've been an athlete before, that determination to come back and that desire is what really pushes them to come back to the sport.
44.95 for Tonetto. Just to let you know, the women's shot put F33 seeded category is ongoing. You haven't missed anything yet. Masood is up at the moment. She's the silver medalist from 2017. Is currently in 2nd position. Wu Qing with that Asian record of 7.54.
Kudanishis showing a little bit of a wry smile there. Croatia has already had 2 medals so far, both coming in the throws. Saw bronze from Luka Bakovic, a massive PB yesterday in the T46 shot put. No improvement, and he stays in 2nd position. Harrison Walsh was also a very good shot putter back in his day. 16.21 with a 6-kilo shot. Actually, a few of the men used to do the shot put. It was dropped from the Paralympic program. And so they all became discus specialists.
So there's a degree of adaptation as well, isn't there? Because if certain events are dropped down to the program, you have to be adaptable to do other para sports.
I think earlier in the evolution of Paralympic sport, there was a lot of chopping and changing of events, which sometimes you have to do because as a sport grows and evolves, the landscape changes, the population changes, but actually now we're at a place where they're trying to keep a more stable program. That way, you don't, as an athlete, want to dedicate your life to something only to find it dropped from the program. And so I think the system they have now is much better. 37
metres added by Harrison Walsh, 50.50 for his 3rd attempt as David Blair steps up for number 3. in the lead. Out near the 55-metre mark, but certainly not going to be anywhere near his second throw of 58.73.
I love it when athletes do the analysis for us. I think I'm just going to leave it there with that sigh.
It's funny, isn't it, sport? It's at times a complete game in your own head about what you can do. Some days you feel really confident. Some days you don't have that feeling of what you're going to do is going to be great. 54.80 for David Blair. He does stay in the lead with 58.73 for his second a season best there. So he is a good 5 metres or so in front of Katanusic. But yeah, some days you feel fantastic, and other days, for some reason or not, you're not feeling it.
I think that's the reality for everyone in life. You're not going to be at your best every single day, and so you have to train to the point where actually your average is good enough. And I thought it was so interesting to watch Marcus Rem last night work through that. He wasn't great in the first 3 rounds, and he really had to work for it.
Do you know what? That's probably the first time in years and years and years I've seen Marcus Rem not up to that level straight away that we're so used to.
That throw given the red flag. Now at the moment, bronze is being held by Harrison Walsh at 50-50. Yosar trying to work his way up into that podium. Still has a bit of work to do. David Blair clearly recovered from the frustration of the previous attempt. And that is where the men's discus throw F64 final stands at the halfway point. We have flown through this event.
Yeah, indeed we have. It's gone absolutely lightning quick. Taken about 13 or 14 minutes to get through 3 throws each, so that one there will be over before you can blink again. But it is the track that gets underway momentarily, because we've got a load of stuff on this evening. This the first on the track. This will be the men's 100 metres T11 final. There's 11 medals to be given out on the track this evening. That man you just saw a moment or two ago, Nasos Gavalas, the reigning Paralympic and world champion. It is going to be an absolutely stunning evening of track events. Also in the field, we've got those 5 golds in the field as well, but 11 on the track. There is so much to look forward to, and that is just the finals. We also have heats going as well in the men's 100 metres T52 and in the men's 100 metres T54 before the final of the men's 100 metres T54 a little bit later in the evening, just after 7 o'clock local time. All to look forward to, all coming. So wherever you are watching us around the world, whether it be on the YouTube feed of World Para-Athletics, the Facebook page, wherever you may be watching, thank you very much for joining us. It is just gone past 20 past 5 local time here in Kobe in Japan, and it is a brilliant championship so far. That's the field. Men's 100 metres T11. 4 are going in that one, including Gavalas up against Di Dong Dong. It promises to be an absolutely stunning final in that one. The Asian champion Dong Dong up against Gavalas, who is the world Paralympic champion. He's also the European champion, if you want to add that moniker to him as well. Only 4 going in this. Now, the reason for that is because each athlete has to be allocated 2 lanes because of the guide. This is the complete visual impairment category. So they have to run with the guide. It is compulsory, mandatory, whichever way you want to look at it. And it will take a little bit more time for the athletes and the guides to get set before the race gets underway. A tether is attached if you are new to para-athletics.
Men's 100 metres T11
maintained the whole way through the race. You can see there, they will hook themselves up, wrist to wrist, hand to hand.
Representing Spain.
And the athlete must cross the line before the guide for it to be legal.
And the guide
first up, Eduardo Uceda Novas, the lucky loser, qualifier, goes through. 23 years of age, silver in the 400 here already. Di Dong Dong, bronze medalist in 2015 and 2017, also in 2020. In Tokyo, the Asian champion, Nasos Gavalas. He's the world, European young Paralympic champion as he goes for back-to-back titles. And he's second to the Chinese, Yi Tao, bronze medalist at the Asian Para Games last year.
Men's 100-meter T11 final starts now.
So that is the field for the opening track event of the
your
evening.
box.
The first of 11 finals on the track this evening. Stay with us. It'll get bumpy, but you'll enjoy it. There's that tether. You can see the blue, yellow and red, which has to be hooked up. They're checked beforehand. The length of it, the elasticity, it all goes through the officials who are doing a cracking job of maintaining these championships, and well, where would we be without them? Wonderful camera work there. Now there is a gauze pads put under those masks. The masks have to be applied to just be definite about that 100% that they cannot see anything.
Please.
Well, lane 7 there is just put the hand in the air, and Yi Tao and his guide Tian Hao Yu
Behind door, please.
have just asked for a bit of extra time. Just trying to hear what is being said down there. It's a bit difficult. It's not really very loud. So it'll be a green card. I suspect it's wheeled out and we'll get underway again.
Green card.
Yep. Best to be sure, so no point making sure you're in a bad position. You have to get yourself set before you're getting underway.
Your marks.
So take number 2. Not the first time it's happened either, by the way, in these championships. It has happened a few times, and it is completely legitimate. That's the young 23-year-old Nasad Novas. Went through as a fastest lucky loser. So D, Gavalas and Yi winning their heats. They said Novas in 1, D in 3, Gavalas in 5, and Yi in 7. And they burst away very quickly. I thought Di Dong Dong got away well. Gavalas is doing his best to catch him. Yi down the outside. It's Gavalas is doing his best to catch Di Dong Dong, but it's going to be Di Dong Dong who's going to take it. And it's a fall at the end there for Gavalas as they went across the line. But it is Di Dong Dong. 11.27 seconds, rounded up to 11.28. Season best time for Di. Gavalas hit the ground as he went over the line. The tether came apart from his guide. I hope he's all right, but it's Di who's taken the victory in 11.28 seconds, adding to his Asian Para goal from last year. Well, that's the ending where Di just gets across the line. You can see there that Gavalas, I think, just gets in front of his guide and across the line. That's going to be tight. But he does fall, and Yi does his best out wide, but it's Di Dong Dong. Well, I tell you, Yi Tao has been given second place because Gavalas has been disqualified. So the Paralympic, European and now former world champion has been disqualified there. Elevates Yi Tao from China up into the silver medal position with a lifetime best of 11:36 and a season best for Usaida Novas in third place. So what a race.
That was an absolutely stunning race, so close. And do you know what I was thinking about? Maybe because we were talking about your ballroom dancing skills, that's what that is. It's just this aggressive, powerful dance.
Di Dongdong then season best gold. Yi Tao lifetime best with the silver. Manuel Usaida Novas season best with the bronze. And I can tell you that Gavalas was disqualified for his guide runner finishing before the athlete.
We are about to see Harrison Walsh take his 5th throw, and this is an important one because Yosar of Estonia has just launched 51.01 into the bronze medal position, which Walsh used to occupy. Harrison Walsh has to respond now. He needs an extra 52 centimeters. That one coming down well before the 50-meter mark. He will have one more attempt to get on that podium. Now, Walsh finished 5th at the World Championships. He has taken 2 medals in the past. He's been 3rd at the Europeans in 2021. He was 3rd at the Commonwealth Games, but he does not yet have a global medal at a World Championships. And you can see there, he's just heading back to his coach right now. Wouldn't it be great to hear what his coach is about to say to him?
Yeah. Gee, they're going through this quick, aren't they? We'll get back to that, but we'll head back to the track now because the women's 100 metres T12 medium visual impairment final is taking place. Minus Amara Duran. Will Downing, he's had his fill of coffee. He's ready to go for the evening. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, big pity that we don't have Amara Duran. She scratched very early on from the 400 decider. Let's go through the field. Silver in the 400 here for Lorraine Gomez of Brazil, and a guide, Fernando Martins. In lane 3 for China, the Asian Games champion, formerly silver in the 4, bronze in the 1 and the 2 last year in Hangzhou, Shen Yakin, and a guide, Li Wen. In lane 5 for the Dominican Republic. 4th in the 100 metres final of the Paralympic Games in Tokyo 3 years ago. This is only his 2nd championship ever to Lenis de la Cruz and a guide, Fari Mekia. And in lane 7 for Indonesia, the reigning Asian Games and Southeast Asian Games champion, Nimada Arianti Putri, and a guide, Bayu Ali Aji Laksona. So no Amara Duran, and a new champion will be crowned. None of these have won a global gold before.
On your marks.
Medium visual impairment guides are optional. They have all opted for that. Dalenis is keen, definitely. Big moment in the career of these 4. They will never have a better chance of being a world champion. Lorraine Gomez, silver in the 4. Shen Yakin was 4th in it. De la Cruz went out in the heats of it. Putri is only in this 100 metres. They've gone through the rounds, and here they are. It's Gomez in 1, Shen Yakin 3, De la Cruz 5, Putri in 7. The final of the women's 100 metres.
Set.
T12. They're away first time. Great start by De la Cruz of the Dominican Republic. She is away. And Gomez as well for Brazil in lane 1. It's tight, this one. It's Gomez. De la Cruz still there. De la Cruz to take it. Gomez in 2nd place. And Putri in 3rd. A career-making moment for Dalenis de la Cruz. At the age of 23, she is the world champion. 12.43 seconds. She was 4th in Tokyo in the Paralympic Games, the 100 metres, and that was the only previous championship she had been in. She's here now and she's won it. Shen Yakin just fell back. Despite all of those Asian Games titles before, What a sensational start by De La Cruz. Gomez coming well for Brazil, and De La Cruz just kept going.
De La Cruz knew she had an opportunity and she took it. And I love the celebration at the end. I love it when the athletes share their emotions in a way that let us share in that experience. And it doesn't matter that Omara Duran wasn't here. You can only race the person who shows up. And she took her opportunity and she went with it.
There will not be an asterisk against the result. A glorious win. It is the Dominican Republic's first medal here. What a victory. She just absolutely rocketed up and sailed in, got a glorious, magnificent gold medal. And unless I'm greatly mistaken, that is the first medal the Dominican Republic have ever claimed, and it is a gold. Delanis De La Cruz gets it for the Dominican Republic. Lorraine Gomez, the silver for Brazil, and Nimada Aliante Putri with the bronze for Indonesia. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Men's discus throw F64. We are heading towards the closing stages, Steph Reed.
Now we're about to see Katanushas take his throw, but what we missed in all that excitement is that Harrison Walsh came out and he defended that silver medal. You can see on the screen there with his final throw, he threw 52.48. That was huge for Harrison Walsh. Now Katanushas already knows he has the silver. He is looking to dethrone David Blair. Not an easy job to do. As in David Blair's 5th attempt, we got our first 60-meter throw. But Katanushas will finish in 2nd place. He was 2nd in Tokyo, off the podium in 4th in Paris 2023. He's back on in 24. And he's finished off his campaign with a season's best, saving his best till last. Can this man do the same? First 60-meter throw of the competition in round 5. Can he go further? That won't be further, but it doesn't matter. Because David Blair, the man who left discus 16 years, came back, took the world record, took the World Championships last year, and he's come back and defended that title. That is your world champion.
Yeah, David Blair done it yet again. As to that gold he won back in 2016 in Rio, getting handshakes there. 60.13. Season best. What a mark. As we head back to the track, we'll bring you more on that discus in a while. Shot put event still going as well in the F33, but we are now onto the track for the men's 100 metres T54. This is the first heat of 2.
Men's 100-meter T54.
And the final will happen later in the evening.
Heat 1. The world record for this event is held by Thailand.
So 2 heats to go now. The final will take place just after 7 p.m. local time. So in around an hour and a half.
In lane 2, representing Portugal, Balde Mamudo.
Mamudo Balde of Portugal, 6th in the world rankings. He achieved his Paralympic Games qualifying mark earlier this month. Siang Lam of Thailand, who was 4th here over 1,500 metres already, will go in lane 3.
Representing France,
Yasser Musanganya,
Yashir.
22 years of age, a lifetime best of 13.87. Samuel Carter, who's coached by Fred Perriac, will go from lane 5. He was 5th in Tokyo 2020. Leo Pakatati, he's been around for what seems like an eternity. Silver last year, as he looks to go one better. He has been a former 3-time Paralympic champion. Zhang Ying won bronze in the 400 metres here so far at these championships.
Representing Saudi Arabia.
And Jaman Al-Zarani of Saudi Arabia out in lane 8. His lifetime best, 14.28, a season best of 14.42 for the man in green.
Starts now.
So this will be the first 3 that go through automatically.
On
And
your
the next
mark.
2 fastest across the 2 heats will then qualify through to this evening's final. No Athawat Pangnua, the world champion. He's not here at these games.
Sit.
But the Paralympic and European champion, Leo Pakatati, certainly is. He's in the light blue, 3 in from the near side of the screen, and he is absolutely flying through is Leo Pakatati. He's going to take it, and then it looks like in lane 4, it's Musanganya who comes across. I think it might be Balde on the far side there who takes that 3rd qualification position. Season best time for Pakatati of 13.90. Musanganya, it is, goes through 2nd, 14.43, and Balde, lifetime best of 14.45 for him. He'll be absolutely thrilled. He'd already achieved that Paralympic qualifying mark. And next to him is the 22-year-old Frenchman, Musangaya. But that man there, he might not be 22 years of age, but he's certainly able to sprint like one, Steph.
For so long, Leo Pakatati was dominant at this event, this being the one event Marcel Hug is not dominant at. But then Athawat Pangnua came in, and we saw Leo Pakatati dethroned both in Tokyo and at the World Champs last year. And this is what I love to see, when athletes who have been used to winning for so long, they now get a rivalry, but they're not done. They come back and they stick around and they say, actually, I'm going to come back and try and defend this position.
That's what makes sports so brilliant, isn't it? And as an individual, you want to try and test yourself against the best in the world. And Leo Pakatati is doing just that, and he's through to the final later this evening. 14.48, by the way, a season best for Zhang Ying in 4th place, and 14.57 for Sam Carter. So they're the 2 times in the hot seat at the moment we'll be looking at as David Blair celebrates becoming a world champion yet again. Brilliant stuff from Blair, 60.13, and this is how he did it. He won gold last year in Paris, and he's retained the title with that throw there here in Kobe. Paralympic champion back in 2016. He's got 3 silver medals to his name in the World Championships as well. 2015 in Doha, 2017 in London, and 2019 in Dubai. So David Blair with that throw. Season best, 60.13. Way in front when he got his technique right. And there was no doubting that he is number 1 when it comes to the discus at present. 2nd place to Ivan Katanusic, season best 53.89 for him. And what a comeback from that man there. Harrison Walsh, season best 52.48 with his last attempt after he fouled his 1st, his 4th and his 5th. He takes the bronze medal for Great Britain. So the men's discus throw F64 final rounded up there nicely with David Blair taking the gold, Katanusic with the silver, and Harrison Walsh taking the bronze medal. And I can tell you what, it lasted all of about 32 minutes for the entire competition. 5 athletes in it, 6 throws each. That is the quickest field event I have ever seen. Track, Leo Pakatati picking up the 1st place finish there in his season best. Musangawa and Balde going through season best for Zhang, who sits in one of those qualifying positions at the moment in the men's 100 metres T54. The second of those heats is going to head out very, very shortly indeed, as David Blair takes the plaudits on this near stand side from the crowd after winning that discus throw.
Yeah, he's doing his lap of honour at the moment. What a remarkable tale. Now we have some top-class athletes in this as well. Luke Bailey from Australia. The 400 champion this week, Hu Yang from China.
Men's 100-meter
Tomoki Komu took a gold
Heat 2.
last year in the universal relay in the World Champs. There are 7 going in this. We start off in lane 2 with a man at his 3rd World Championships for Armenia, Simbat Karapetyan.
In lane 3, representing Indonesia.
In lane 3 for Indonesia, the 2022 200 metres Southeast Asian Games champion. He has an Asian Games silver, 2 of them as well. Jainal Arpin in lane 4 for Mexico. The Pan Am champion over 100 metres twice in a row. Won Cervantes. In lane 5 for Australia, 7th in the 100 metres final. In Dubai in 2019, Luke Bailey. In lane 6 for China.
People's Republic of China, Hu Yang.
The 400 metres champion this week, Hu Yang, who took bronze in the 100 last week.
In lane 7, representing
In lane 7 for Japan, gold in the universal relay last year, Tomoki Ikoma.
In lane 8, representing
And in lane 8 for Finland, a man who made his debut at the 2005 Europeans, bronze most recently at the Euros in Bydgoszcz.
100-meter T54,
Esa-Pekka
round 1.
Matila.
Heat 2 starts now.
So it's the top 3 again to go through, plus the next 2 fastest.
On your marks.
Karapetyan, Erpin, Cervantes, Bailey, Hu, Ikoma, Matila. And 14:57 the target time for those in the top 3. We're the first time of asking. Good start by Bailey for Australia. He's got away well. Now here comes Cervantes getting to his stride in this T54. Cervantes is away here. The 2 in a row Pan Am champion. Cervantes will take it. Hu and Bailey are the 3 automatically into the final. 14:08 unofficial. Decent time, that slightly slower than Leo Pekatati, but there were so many in the line that I imagine a lot of those will go through. Hu 14:25, Bailey 14:35. Those 3 definitely through. Matila is in the final, 14:37, and Ikoma is as well. They've all gone past Zhang Ying's tally of 14:48, so the top 5 are all into this T54 men's 100 metres final, and Juan Cervantes is tilting at glory.
I love the 100 meters because what it shows is that these chairs, they're hard to start. It takes so much power. In the 1500 meters, they would have hit a top speed earlier this week at around 37 kilometers an hour, which is fast, but the chairs aren't geared. You have to work really, really hard to get them going, and it's just such a fantastic display of power and technique. You cannot miss in the 100 meters. If you miss, you are out. You will not get there, and so you have to be perfect, and you have to be fast.
Juan Cervantes with a victory, 14:08. Well, the top 5 are all through. Cervantes, Hu, Bailey, Matila, and Ikoma. Aripin, the Southeast Asian Games champion, departs. That was a great victory from a couple of years ago. Here's the field for the final. Leo Pekatati, the fastest. Cervantes, Hu Yang, Luke Bailey for Australia. That could be a good decider. It should be. And we have lots tonight, 15 in total.
Women's shot put M33 is continuing on. That was the first event of the evening to get underway. Wu Qing, who we saw go out first with that new Asian record. If you did miss it, here she is. First to go. And what a throw it was. It is ongoing, this competition, but this is the lady who sits top of the pile, 7:54, a new Asian record, and she came into this with a lifetime best of 5:43. She absolutely obliterated that mark by over 2 meters. That with her second attempt. Not as good as she went through after that, but her first two, well over 7 meters. That is enough at the moment, because next best is 6.64. Men's shot put F35 final will be taking place diagonally opposite where that F33 is being carried out, and that will be getting underway in the next couple of minutes. There's a field of 7 set to go in the F35. And they've all been warming up, but they've gone along. That man there, you just saw, there he is, Norbakov, reigning champion. He's also the Paralympic champion. He won bronze in the Asian Para Games for Uzbekistan. Eggersbergs with the beard there. There he is. There's Norbakov. 17:32, that lifetime best of his, which was the World and Championship record. That was set in Dubai when he won back in 2019. Yes, we can see Uzbekistan #1. Absolutely. He'll be carrying the expectations of a nation yet again. Fu Jinhan of China.
Order 1, 2, 3, 4.
As they line themselves up.
Number one.
Fu Jinhan, by the way, very interesting. He's won Paralympic 100 metre silver in 2008 and 200 metres World Championship bronze in 2015. So that is what you call an eclectic mix. But that is the wonder of parasport, that people can go across different things and it gives them opportunities.
Representing Republic of Moldova, Spinu Georgi.
So Georgi Spinu, lifetime best set this year of 9 meters, 22 years of age.
Representing
That man there
Solomon
is not 22 years of age, I can tell you. That's Eggersbergs
Representing Latvia,
of Latvia,
Bergs Edgar.
born in 1984, so a little bit of the difference between him and Spinu. Fu Jinhan,
Representing People's Republic of China,
bronze medalist back in 2020. He won silver at the Asian Para Games last year. He won bronze in Paris last year. Kabalov, representing as a neutral para-athlete. Lifetime best set this year of 13:25. Javelin Mahdi of Iran, reigning Asian para-champion. And the man we saw a moment or two ago from Uzbekistan, Khushnudin Norbakov, Paralympic champion, world champion, twice over, winning back in 2019 as well, going for 3 in a row. And there is Zoloman, who for some reason was called over early by the officials to get himself ready, and he missed that lineup.
I actually think he went back to get his jacket because he didn't want to mess up his warm-up.
Well, I thought they were talking about his actual bib at first, and on the front there about having to have one on there, but he had one on there. So I was just trying to work out what was actually the problem. Anyway, Zoloman is Kazakhstan is there. He'll be in the competition. 10:92 is his lifetime best. So we have a field of 7 world champions and Paralympic champions. Bergs, of course, is the European champion as well. So Javelin Mahdi is the Asian champion. It's the champion of champions, this one. As we wait to get underway. Spinu will be the first one out there. He is just having a seat for the moment. While Zoloman gets himself sorted out there. Almost reminded me of my mother when I was younger, trying to dress me and get me sorted out.
Did you see how the other athletes went to help him?
Yeah, I did.
Got his hand stuck in the sleeve. I thought that was very sportsmanlike of him.
Absolutely. So coordination impairment category, this one. Looks like he's moving along to the music there, Norbakov. I must say, dealing with para-athletes of any nation is an absolute joy. Talking of nations, China's Shi Yiting, world and championship record holder. China at the top of the medal table, and Shi will look to add something else. Women's 200 metres T36 final. As she gives us a wave. Field of 7 going in it. It is the reigning world champion, Danielle Aitchison, who goes up against the Paralympic champion, Shi Yiting. Aitchison's already claimed silver in the 100 metres here. Shi Yiting took the gold in that 100 metres.
Women's 200 meter T36 final. In lane 9, representing
Big
Hong
Antipodean
Kong, China,
contingency
Yam
here, 2 from Australia and
Kwok
1 from New Zealand going in this. Yam Kwok Fan of Hong Kong
in lane
will go
8,
in
representing Australia.
lane 9. Abby Craswell, 8th in the
Abby.
200 last year
In
and a
lane
lifetime
7,
best. Danielle
representing New
Aitchison,
Zealand,
reigning champion,
Aitchison
silver in the Paralympic
Danielle.
Games back in 2020. She'll look to go one better than that this year, and silver here over the 100 already.
In lane 6,
Shi Yiting, what hasn't she done?
representing People's Republic of China.
She's the Paralympic
Shi
champion twice
Yiting.
over. She won gold in 2017 and
In lane
19.
5,
Marley Lovell,
representing
coached by former
Australia,
world indoor champion
Lavelle
Melinda Gainsford Taylor
Malley.
and Katie Edwards from Australia. She won silver last year in Paris. John Min Jae, bronze medalist in 2017 in London, silver last year at the Asian Para Games. And the second of the Hong Kong China athletes, it is Yu Chun Lai, who will go in lane 3. So Hong Kong in lane 3 and in lane 9.
Women's 200 meter T36 final starts now.
Coordination impairment category, this is the medium coordination impairment. Towards the higher end of impairment, 38 being the strongest. So that is Danielle Aitchison, the world champion in the black and white of New Zealand. So Yam in 9, Craswell in 8, Aitchison 7, Shi 6, Lovell 5, John 4, and Yu in lane 3. No problems getting away. Shi Yiting, as always, gets off to a very fast start. Danielle Aitchison as well is racing around the outside. At the moment, it's a race in 2 between those. Shi Yiting, as they round the bend and straighten up, has the slight lead over Danielle Aitchison, who is roaring down the outside, the New Zealander. Well, she didn't manage to get it in the 100 metres, but in the 200 metres, she is going to take gold and retain the title she won last year in Paris. 27:48 is the time. I make that a new world record. Danielle Aitchison beats off Shi Yiting with a new world record for New Zealand in quite a stunning run around the bend. She had it, but as they moved into the last 80 or so metres, Aitchison came roaring past Shi Yiting, who sets a new Asian record of 28:06. Marley Lovell looks like she's coming in and taken 3rd position. She has in a lifetime best, the Australian. So it's an Oceania 1 and 3, but a new world record for Danielle Aitchison. Well, it was the opposite way around when it came to the 100 metres, the 200. What can you say about that lady there? In the space of 10 months, she's picked up 2 world titles. She has to settle for an Asian record in second place, seeing her world and championship record goes. Lovell, lifetime best. John, season best. Yam, personal best. It is personal and season and world records all the way through this. What about that run?
I mean, that entire race was absolutely on fire. You can see in Aitchison's face there. Shi Yiting definitely had her on the corner, but she stormed down that home straight. And just a note on that little device she had at the start, it is just to help her hear the gun. It actually is hooked up to the gun and it flashes so that she knows when to go. But what a star we have emerging in Aitchison. And the best thing is this field is so young. Aitchison just 22, Mally Lovell just 19. This is going to be such a hot race, such a hot category for so long.
Well, she'll be 23 a couple of weeks before the Paralympics get underway. And wouldn't it be a nice birthday present for her if she can add that Paralympic title to the world title? We shall see, but it is New Zealand absolutely on fire. Australia in the 3rd position, but it is China in 2nd. We'll come back and round that up in a little while's time. But here's Zollerman back at the men's shot put, F35, another coordination impairment category. And we're just about ready to go with him. In the foreground of where he is there, we've got Daniel Aitchison, who's celebrating in front of the sign with the world record on it. And why wouldn't she celebrate? Zollerman is ready to go. Spinu, 8:23 with his opener. And Zollerman is next up, second to throw, 10:92 for his lifetime best. And it's out there, well, not far around that mark, actually. And just to let you know that it does get a bit cold here in the evening. That is why Zollerman has that jacket on. It does get a bit chilly. To the point where we actually have a blanket to put on every now and then. 10:77, a season best. For Zollerman, he goes into first place as Inge Bergs, the European champion from Latvia, gets ready for his first. Well, we're an hour into this session so far, and it has been absolute mayhem. There have been world records and championship records on the track and the field. It's all happening. I might have to go for a lie down in a half an hour or so. If you don't hear from me for a bit, someone call me. That's out there around the 14-metre mark for Bergs. 14.70 his lifetime best. It's been given a white flag. 13:44 his season best. I suspect he might actually beat that there, the man who won the European gold in Big Gosh a few years back. I say a few years back because it was 2021. Seems like an eternity ago. Haven't had a European championship since, and we more than likely it won't be one until 2026. Bergs goes into first place. 13:35 for him, just shy of his season best, which is 13:44. So we are flying through this as well. Fu is up next, the bronze medalist from 2020 in Tokyo. He won silver back in 2019. Silver last year at the Asian Para Games and bronze in Paris. Has run before as well, but he now concentrates on the throwing, and that is out over the 14-metre mark.
Some sprint power certainly helps when it comes to the shot put. It's an explosive event, and often shot putters are excellent sprinters over a very short distance.
Well, we saw that last night, didn't we, when the two Colombians were there running around, showing off to the crowd who were throwers. Fu, 14:29, takes him into the lead. His season best, 14:63. His lifetime best, by the way, is 16:53. If he gets anywhere near that, he's going to be a long way in front. Kabalov up next. He's a neutral para-athlete. Kabalov, 13.25, that season best he's thrown this year. White flags given for that. Tamuraz Kabalov. First of 6 throws. There are only 7 going in this men's shot put F35, so they'll all get the half a dozen throws each. There'll be no cut-off. 15.33 is a lifetime best. Takes him up into first position. Well. Not only a lifetime best by more than 2 metres. 13.25 before that. Javelin of Iran, the Asian para-champion, will be next to go. And then we'll only have Norbukov to go after that. And we'll have gone through 1 round, and that is over 14 metres. Lifetime best of 16.71. .14.76 puts him into the silver medal position for the time being. Kabalov leads, and Norbukov now the man to beat coming into this, who's the reigning world champion and Paralympic champion. Let us see what he has. It's out near the 16-metre mark. He doesn't like it. I suspect it's going to put him into the lead, though. 17.32, that world record he set in Dubai 5 years ago now. Just seems like yesterday, doesn't it? So it's out in the 15-metre mark. Kabalov is 15.33 with that lifetime best. What has Norbukov done? Well, he's gone and beaten it by 3 centimetres. That'll be enough as he does a sprint to celebrate at the end there. 15.36, a season best for Norbukov, good enough to put him into the lead. Now, talking of a lead, world record lead, Daniel Aitchison beating off Shi Yiting, set an Asian record. Marley Lovell of Australia, lifetime best. The results from the women's 200 metres, T36. That was absolutely thrilling. And Daniel Aitchison, quite rightly, young lady, celebrating and enjoying the moment. She will look to add a Paralympic gold to that later in the year. She's a double world champion over 200 metres in the T36, and she now will be looking ahead full throttle to Paris later in the year. Aren't we all? Time now for the men's 400 metres T20 final. This the intellectual impairment category.
Yeah, the excitement continues here with this 400 metres final. T20s, and quite a few major championship medalists in this, and most of these competing are only in the 400. We'll start off with the reigning Pan Am and world champion in lane 9 for Brazil, Samuel Oliveira. This is the field. Oliveira, Pan Am and world champion. Noor Azmi, the Southeast Asian Games and Asian champion. Obando is the Pan Am long jump champion. Nelfi, Southeast Asian Games 800 champion. And it doesn't end there. Daniel Tavares, who holds the record. He's won the world title twice. He's been Pan Am champion as well. Most of the field in this have major championship medals to their name.
Men's 400-meter T20 final. In lane 9.
So, a reintroduction to the reigning Pan Am and world champion from last year for Brazil, Samuel Oliveira. In lane 8 for Malaysia,
lane
the reigning
8,
Southeast Asian Games
Malaysia,
and Asian Para Games champion, Muhammad Amar Ayman Noor Azmi.
In lane 7
for Colombia, the reigning Pan Am long jump champion, silver in the 4 in Santiago, John Abando. In lane 6 for Indonesia, the reigning Southeast Asian Games 800 champion, silver in the 4 in the Asian Games, Alvin Nomlani. In lane 5 for Spain, you know him and his twin brother, Dionabel. The 3-time world medalist, Deliber Rodriguez. In lane 4 for Brazil, the twice world champion, Daniel Tavares. In lane 3 for Venezuela, the Paralympic silver medalist in Tokyo, the Pan Am bronze twice over, Luis Rodriguez, world bronze in 2019. And in lane 2 for Ecuador, the former Pan Am silver medalist in 2019, world silver the same year, Anderson Colorado of Ecuador. All 8 have won major championship medals in their time. It is as strong a field as you could ever expect to see. The intellectual category, the T20. Charles-Antoine Kouakou of France is the reigning Paralympic champion. This is, all told, a brilliant field. Rodriguez is actually the oldest man of the field at the age of 31. Everybody born in the February 1993 or later. Quite a few in the noughties. Nomlani, Abando and Noor Azmi. I have to say, the previous race on that track here, the women's 200 T36, was just blistering. We have seen some results tonight. Aitchison for New Zealand and Darlene Stella Cruz were not just the first ever gold medal ever claimed by the Dominican Republic in a World Para Athletics Championships. This is the 11th
400 meters
first ever medal for them, full stop.
Starts now.
On your marks.
That's Colorado in 2, Rodriguez 3, Tavares 4, Rodriguez Ramirez of Spain in 5, Nomlani in 6, Abando 7, Noor Azmi 8, Oliveira 9. The final of the men's 400 meters T20 is Luis Rodriguez of Venezuela in 3, Deliber Rodriguez of Spain in 5. The final of the men's 400 meters T20. They're away now. Deliber Rodriguez, nice start for Spain in 5. And Nomlani for Indonesia in 6. Tavares of Brazil, who won this title at the Olympic Stadium in London in 2017, and then again in Dubai in the Centre for Athletes of Determination 2 years later. 2 very wonderful games, 2 great atmospheres. Tavares going very well in 7, and also for Venezuela, Luis Rodriguez in 3. Tavares hitting the front now. It's Rodriguez of Venezuela in 2nd spot. They straighten up. There's almost 6 in a line here. This is great going. And it's Abando moving up. For Colombia going great in lane 7. And it's Oliveira, Brazil coming in. It's Oliveira against Abando. Oliveira, no, he's fallen. Oh, good heavens. Abando, Oliveira, I think just nicked it. Abando in 2nd, Noor Azmi in 3rd, I make it. But Oliveira, that was tight. And he just crumbled as he was going over the line. That will be a very unique photo finish. He might just have made it. Noor Azmi, the Asian Para Games and the ASEAN Para Games to Southeast Asia. His global debut. Oliveira's got it. Oliveira retains his world title, but not by much. By 11 hundredths of Abando, the silver, the Pan Am long jump champion. And in 3rd, it will be Noor Azmi. What an astonishing finish. And Samuel Oliveira tumbling, he made it. I will say this, he fell right on time, right onto the line. Even 2 meters earlier, he might not have been able to make it. What an astonishing finish. Noor Azmi was coming up. It was lane 7, 8 and 9 in the end where the medals came from. And on the near side, Oliveira coming good. Abando in the red, unusually of Colombia this time. He almost made it. Oliveira slightly distracted maybe, but he got there.
I think we've learned now in the 400 not to get too excited until we get to that back straight. And Oliveira just timed that absolutely perfectly. You could see him swimming 10 meters to go. That was pure will and desire that got him across that line.
And we consider the man who came 5th as a twice world champion, who was dethroned by Oliveira. So Oliveira's now won 2 in a row. It's great from Malaysia as well. 2 great successes last year for Noor Azmi, and now a bronze at the World Championships. Abando, the silver for Colombia, just as it was last year. It's the same 1-2 as last year. That was a really dramatic finish. 47.73, just outside the championship record of Daniel Tavares set in Dubai. Samuel Oliveira taking it. What an amazing, amazing win. They are being ushered away very quickly. There's the photography chief, Barbara, looking after everybody there. They are being whisked away very quickly by the local officials, who are quite keen.
Men's shot put F35. Norbakov leads still. But here is Fu, who's in second position, and that is out towards the 16-meter mark. 15.55 with his second. The white flag's given. And Zhu, 16.53 is his lifetime best. He hasn't gone over the 16-meter mark, but he is close to it. What's he got? I think he likes it. We wait, 15.53, it's not any better, so he stays second with that season best, 15.55. He's just shy by 19 centimetres of Norbakov, who's on shot now. And here's Kabalov. He's in third position. That won't be an improvement either. F35 category. Coordination impairment. If you want more, by the way, you can head to paralympic.org and you'll find out all the information you need on classifications. Kabalov there, 14.10, so no improvement on his lifetime best, 15.33. Lifetime best, by the way, for Kabalov, it was 13.25 coming into this. He's gone more than 2 meters over it. Javelin Mahdi, the Asian champion, he's in fourth. From Iran. This is third. Well, that looks all right. That looks pretty good. It's staying just inside the quadrant. 14.76 with his first. His second was a foul. Oh, get out there, son. Yes. Oh, that's good. That is good. Has to be an improvement, surely. 15.32, an improvement. It's huge. 15.32, season best. He moves up. Talking of moving up and out, here we go. Men's 400 metres T12. This the medium visual impairment category. I said the finals will be coming thick and fast this evening, and they are at that. 11 on the track. We're heading through them at rocket speed, like the athletes are running.
Men's 400 meter.
This has the reigning world champion Rui Jabable in this one. There he is in lane 7. It also has Abdusalam Halili, the Paralympic champion, the former world champion. But this man here, lifetime best, 48.01 for him. He's won silver in the 1500 metres.
In lane 5, representing
In the
Turkey,
T13,
Yildirim
he won gold
Serpa.
last year, and Serkan Yildirim is the gold medalist here over 100 metres at these championships.
Representing
Out here doing the
Morocco.
400. Buja of Morocco just missed out in the medal in the 100, finishing in 4th place. And the Paralympic champion, Abdesalam Helili, who won gold in Dubai in 2019 as well, will go out in lane 1. Now Healy holds the world record. Serkan Yildirim, the championship record, which he's already set here at these games 2 days ago when qualifying. So we have the reigning world champion Jababli with the Paralympic champion and former world champion Healy, and we have the championship record holder Serkan Yildirim going in this one. Now, if this doesn't whet your appetite, nothing will. Healy in 1, Buja in 3, Yildirim in 5, and Jababli goes in 7. 2 from Morocco, 1 from Turkey, and 1 Tunisia in Jababli. Men's 400 metres T12 medium visual impairment category, and they've all got out very quickly, especially Yildirim, the championship record holder, who's moved up already on Jababli, so he's closed that gap very quickly after 150 metres. Well, Yildirim looked fantastic when he set that championship record mark of 57.61. It was only 2/100ths of a second outside Healy's world record when he won that heat, and he's looking outstanding at the moment as he heads into the last 100 metres. And it's Serkan Yildirim of Turkey up against the clock, because no one is going to catch him doing his best. There's Musab Buja, who's going to come home in second. But let's just have a look at this. He goes across the line, 47.47. He has set, by my reckoning, a new world record time. He has beaten the mark that he set in the championship record 2 days ago, and he's taken Healy's world record off him as well. Buja finishes with a lifetime best with his silver medal from Morocco. And then Jababli, a season best, taking 3rd place. The former champion now has to yield to Serkan Yildirim of Turkey, who 2 days ago set the championship record, and here has got out at a rate of knots and has set a new world record. Now, that world record was set by Healy back in Tokyo in 2021 at the Paralympic Games. Yildirim set the championship record just a couple of days ago, and he's blasted out of the blocks and absolutely flown. I said this will whet your appetite. Well, you should be full at the moment, because tonight has provided some absolute wondrous athletics. And if you don't like this, you'll never like anything, Steph Reed.
Yildirim literally flew out of the blocks. That first 100 meters was done in 11.15. To put in perspective, he took down Noah Malone in the 100 meters with a 10.53. That is commitment right from the start. And he's still going now. He doesn't show any signs of tightening up. There was no, well, okay, maybe on his face, what you would call a grimace. I call it a smile, but folk agree to differ on that one. That was just an absolutely stunning run, and he is looking like king of the sprints at the moment.
Oh, lordy me. Someone give me strength. This is absolutely thrilling stuff. Absolutely thrilling. Yildirim's down on the ground. He's being ushered off, but he looked wonderful with that world record, just for a bit of synchronicity as well. 47. He'll never forget that one. Men's javelin throw, F13, staying with the visual impairment category. This is the least of the visual impairment. And there's a big field to go in this one.
Absolutely, there's 13 in this. We've got a few F12s as well, which is medium visual impairment. That's up to 5%. F13, the category least visual impairment, around 20%. It's a massive field. But we'll all get through it, and so will they. Britain represented Dan Pembroke. Australia through Jackson Hamilton.
Yeah, there's a decent enough field in this one. Moldova represented as well.
Representing Republic of Moldova.
Ion Shernai, who set his season best and lifetime best exactly the same this year. He'll be going out first. Emil Zilner did likewise for Latvia. Shernai was an F13. Zilner F12. Kukavicius of Lithuania. 50.33 for him. Here's Masanari Haruki, one of two Japanese athletes going in this one. They will get a big cheer. Marek Vitecki, the silver medalist back in the European Championships back in 2021 and also Berlin in 2018 from Poland. Wako Yuta, bronze medalist at the Asian Para Games last year. And here's Daniel Pembroke, the reigning world, Paralympic and European champion. Lifetime best of 70.50 for him. Sajjad Nikparast of Iran, silver in the Asian Para Games last year. He's won silver, by the way, in 2017 as well, 2016 and 2012, so twice in the Paralympics. Aguilera Cruz of Cuba, 61.11, big for him. Jackson Hamilton over the 64-metre mark. Ali Perouge, silver medalist last year. And Tikaliuk of Romania, 52.20. His lifetime best. And this man here, Hector Cabrera Yasser, bronze medalist in 2020 at the Paralympic Games. He won bronze back in 2017 in London as well, but he's also taken gold in the European Championships in Berlin back in 2018. So as the sun begins to set and the light starts to come into this stadium from the floodlighting system, we'll move back to the track. We'll start with the Javelin in a little while, the F13, but we'll go now to the men's 400 metres T13.
And this is the category of least visual impairment. We have had the T12s a few moments ago. T13s now up to 20% vision, generally. This is a brilliant field in its own right. And we begin in lane 9 with a man who finished 6th in the 100 metres last year, Ivan Hernandez of Spain.
For this event is held by Algeria's Asmani Skandar Jamil at 46.7 meters.
Skandar Atmani with the world record. And with the gold in the one in the blue ribbon sprint. So Ivan Hernandez is in lane 9. In lane 8 for Botswana. 7th in the 400 metres final of the Paralympic Games in Turkey last time out, Edwin Musuge. In lane 7 for Algeria, the new World 100 metres champion and the Paralympic 400 metres champ for Algeria, Skandar Atmani. In lane 6 for Japan, the reigning World 400 metres champion, Ryota Fukunaga. In lane 5 for Germany from Cottbus. 8th in the 100 metres final here, Max Mazzillier. In lane 4 for Colombia, the reigning Pan Am champion, Bunda Bermudez. In lane 3 is neutral. He's 17. He's a championship debutant. He was 5th in the long jump. It's Dimitri Kaskovic. And in lane 2, on his championship debut, for Botswana, Bose Makwati, 21 years old.
Men's 400-meter T13 final.
Is it set up for a double for Skandar Atmani? For Kanaga, the defending champion, the Asian record holder in the long jump and the 400. Atmani in 7th for Kanaga on his inside. Matsilia, who was a surprise finalist in the 100. He didn't qualify, but he was a reserve, and he got promoted. So Maguati in 2, Kaskovic in 3, Bermudez 4, Mazzillier 5, Fukunaga 6, Atmani 7, Masuga 8, Hernandez 9. The final of the men's 400 metres, T13. Away they go. Solid start by Skandar Atmani, who is the Algerian outright 100 metres record holder. And look at him go. He's overtaken Edwin Masuga already. Fukunaga's got a big Discus, who's up in the second place for Spain and only his second championship. He's only in the 400, but Mane, the Paralympic 400 champion, he has shot away, and he's shot away early. 46.70 is world record in claiming gold in Tokyo 3 years ago. He is well clear. Fukunaga in second place, Bermudez in third for Colombia. But this is all about Skander Mane. His world record is 46.70. He's going to be close. He's going to be inside. 46.45. The world record is gone. And Skander Mane, the Paralympic champion, is now the world record too. Fukunaga second, Bermudez third. But Skander Mane is now beginning to dominate in the T13. And boy, did he dominate there. 46.44 is his new world record, beating his old mark from Tokyo. And he has a big target coming up in Paris in the Stade de France of the Paralympic Games. Bermudez with the new America's record in third, 49.07. And Fukunaga has been dethroned in front of his home crowd in Kobe. Mazilie, how about this? In fourth. Well, they'll be on the top of the tables in Compass, maybe off the back of that, but Mane shows his class.
I can't help but think this feels a little bit like deja vu. In the previous race, we saw an amazing world record, and it was the same story with Othmani. In the 100 meters, he defeated the huge favorite Kashvali, coming in at 10:44. Now that 100 meters, the first 100 of this 400 meters Othmani run, he did it in 11:08. Again, we just see total commitment, and at the end of that run, he is still pushing. 46.45 is a stunning run. Just to put in perspective, Olympic qualifier is 45 seconds flat.
Fantastic. We salute you, sir. Skander Mane, world champion on the double this week, and a world record as well. Great win in the 4 in Tokyo. He was edged out on the line in the 100 by Jason Smith. That came first, then he came back and he dominated in the 1 lap, and he's done the same here. And now people can have their dinner off the back of that, having delayed it. That was a real thriller. As this long jump may be as well. Incoming, women's T63. And we have some great names there, and you saw one in green lining up. He's got a brilliant champion coach as well.
Men's 400 metres T12, just the results there to confirm world record for Yildirim, 47.47. Bujar with the silver. What a final that was.
Samuel Oliveira taking the men's 400 T20, 47.73. Gold for Brazil, Abando silver for Colombia, and Noor Azmi the bronze for Malaysia.
And as we head to the long jump, I'm going to have a little lie down at the back here, and if you need me, you'll find me a few rows back. I'm exhausted.
Well, I will take the women's long jump T63 final then. And we have Vanessa Lowe of Australia going in this, who set a world record just 5 months ago.
Japan.
But up first,
Yaguchi
Arena, who set a world record in the T61 200 meters in 2019 on her birthday. Desiree Vila Bargiela of Spain, former acrobatic gymnast, 5th at last year's World Championships. Maegawa Kaede, also of Japan, also an author and 2-time Paralympian. The world record holder in the T61 category, Vanessa Lowe. Hubby Scott Reardon will be watching from Australia. Tozawa Tomomi, just off the podium last year, but 3rd at the 2019 World Champs. And rounding out the field, Emily Ayen. This is her World Championships debut.
T63 final starts now.
We'll bring you that action after this.
The men's 800 metres T53 final, where we'll head back to that long jump. That promises to be an absolutely thrilling competition in itself. By the way, we've got 2 more than 50-year-olds going in this one. There's hope for me yet.
Next event on the track is men's 100
Foregoing.
T53.
None of last year's medalists are here, by the way, in this one. But don't worry about that. It will still provide plenty. The man who holds the championship and world records isn't here either. If you're watching Brent Lakatos, we salute you and say hello. Your wife, Steph Reed, cannot wait to get home to you. She's not a bad egg. So that man there, Pierre Fairbank, 52 years of age, has a home Paralympics this year. He'll turn 53 before they get underway. And that fella there, Yu Byung-hung, is 51 years of age in lane 8, and he will turn 52 before the Paralympic Games this year. As I've said before, age shall not weary us. We get better as we go along.
Men's 800
Well, some.
meter T53 final.
Out in lane 8,
In lane
he's already won silver here over 400 metres. He was 5th in the 100, bronze in the Asian Para Games last year. He took bronze as well in Dubai in 2019. Yu Byung, Mohamed Khalifi of Tunisia, bronze already in the 400, bronze in the 100. Could it be bronze in the 800? We shall see. Pierre Fairbank,
representing France.
he's won gold here in the 400 metres already, 4th in the 100. He took bronze in Sydney 2000 when Khalifi, who's in this race and we just saw from Tunisia, was 4 years of age. Motez Yomni of Great Britain, silver in the European Championships in 2016. He's 5th here over 400 metres at these championships. Will go in lane 5. So Fairbank is a double European champion. He's won gold here over 400 metres. He took bronze in Tokyo in 2020 in this event. So 2 complete laps, and we'll find out who will be the champion in this men's 800 metres T53. No real pace on at the beginning. Now, I just wonder how this might pan out, because it may well be a little bit tactical as they move across now and jostle for that inside lane, and Fairbank was doing his best, but getting across quicker of everyone was Yu of Korea, because you get out to that front position there, you're forcing people to go around you, and what you'll find there is if he gets a little bit wider and someone can't get through on the inside, they're going to have to go around the outside and do that extra work. As they move down, they'll take the bell in a moment or two's time. Fairbank is just sitting on the wheel there on the outside of Yu, and he's being ridden there by Khalifi, the 23-year-old, is just sitting in the tailwind there of Fairbank, and just looks like he's biding his time. Yomni looks like he's made a move for it already, because he knows he's going to have to make up some yardage around the outside. The Briton is currently sitting 3 lanes wide and looking very smooth. There's Yu Byung-hung of Korea. Pierre Fairbank sitting there. Fairbank will look to move to the outside now. Yep, he's done just that, because he knows he has to get around with 150 to go. And all of a sudden, the hand speed comes on. Khalifi's got some work to do. The man who's taken bronze in the 400 and 100. He looks like he's going to do better in this one, but Pierre Fairbank looks like he has it. Fairbank's out in front by a length. Fairbank's going to take it. He is going to get it in 1:43.80. Khalifi moves up into silver, and Yu finishes in 3rd place, with Yomni back in 4th, about 20 metres further back. Fairbank in 1:43.80. It's a new African record for Khalifi in 1:44.02, and Yu, a season best for him, 1:44.74 in 3rd place. But Pierre Fairbank, it's a 2nd gold of these championships for him. He took it in the 400 metres. He now has it over 800. Khalifi, African record for him from Tunisia. And a very, very happy Yu picking up the bronze medal. Well, I said Khalifi was 4 years of age when that man was winning a bronze in this event in Sydney 2000. Khalifi's gone in behind him here and picked up a silver.
That was a race won by Fairbank, a man with strategy and experience. So what he did was he sat behind you for the whole time, but he did this thing where he didn't just sit behind him on the straights. He just came out, making it that much more difficult for everyone else to come around him. He had the 400-meter speed. We knew that. And at the end, he pulled out and won.
We're talking about winning. Fu is doing his best with his last attempt. 15:55 at present. He's in third position. Loads going on in the field at the moment, by the way. We've got javelin, we've got long jump, we've got shot put. And we'll keep you up to date with absolutely all of them. Discus throw finished a little bit earlier for Fu, 14:88, but he will take the bronze medal. He took bronze in Tokyo back in 2020 as well. Here's Norbakov. 16:37 with his third attempt. The reigning champion and Paralympic champion in first position. Arms are up. You're 15:46 for Norbakov, but he's way out in front. That season best, 16:37 will be enough for him to retain the title. A quite wonderful third attempt, which did the damage. Javelin takes the silver medal with a season best 16:06 for the Iranian. He's the Asian champion, but he has to settle for silver here. This man here, season best 15:55 for Fu. And he adds to his bronze that he picked up last year and back in Tokyo 2020. But here is your winner. He stays world champion. He's Paralympic champion as well as he looks ahead to later in the year. He won gold as well back in 2019. A three-time world champion. Pierre Fairbank, a two-time world champion here in the 400 and 800. Taking the gold in the 800. Khalifi, African record silver. You picking up the bronze in third.
Skander Atmani, world record of the men's 400 meters T13, 46:44, the new mark for Kanaga. Silver for Japan, the outgoing champion of Bermudas, the Pan Am champion with the bronze for Colombia, and Max Mazzillier, fourth. Little pan to the left. And here we go, women's long jump T63, a few different categories in this. And we're already into round two. Vila of Spain, 4:18, she's already gone out to. There's six in this. We're trotting on very quickly in a red flag there. You may have taken notice of the lead, but don't worry, we'll show you visually properly in due course. And that was planted well through. A couple of championship records you'll see because of the different categories we have in the 63s and the 61s. Here is our leader then, at Vanessa Lowe. Bronze last year, having come back after a few months out following the birth of her son Matteo, Paralympic champion as well. But we'll hold that thought. Magawa in second spot.
Magawa excited the crowd with her first round jump, setting a championship record. Now, she has openly said she is tired of finishing off the podium. She was fifth in Tokyo. She was sixth at last year's World Championships. So she decided to go to Italy for 2 months to train with world record holder Martina Caironi, who's not here. I'm sure Caironi is watching and cheering Magawa on. But she has already started off her campaign with an excellent first round jump. That one, I don't think is going to add to it because she's going to get the red flag. but she currently sits in second position. Still early days. She'll want to defend that position. But up next is the world record holder, recently set 5:33 in January. Lo said that one of her proudest moments was coming back to the podium after becoming a mom. And we've seen Lo compete for a while now, and people sometimes ask me, well, which games? I competed in 4 Paralympic Games, and people say, well, which games do you like the best? And you can't really answer it, because the reality is that you're a different person going into every games. And for Vanessa Lo, this is going to be a very different, Paris is going to be a very different experience for her. She's now a mom.
Second attempt. Looks to be beyond 5 meters.
Now, Vanessa just quickly was in your position, by the way, back in 2017, so there is hope for you yet.
As in hope for my return as well. I have seen how hard she has been working on Instagram, and I have to say I'm quite happy where I'm sitting at the moment. But actually, these games in Paris are going to be quite unique for mums. For the first time, they are going to have an area for mums where the children can come and visit. For any athletes that are still breastfeeding, they can do that as well. 15:17 championship record. She is getting better with every attempt.
Beats the mark from 5 years ago. Vanessa Lo is in the groove. Men's 100 meters T52 incoming. Semi-finals, essentially. And again, it's one of these really long CVs involved here. In lane 2, Thomas Gerspickler. 10-time European champion, 5-time world champion, 15 medals to his name. Gerspickler in 2. Everybody's won a major championship medal in the time, apart from Marcus Perino-Daly, but that day may not be too far away. Gerspickler here, his first medal, Sydney 2000, bronze in the marathon. Fabian Bloom, European and world silver in his time.
He's a list as long as his beard.
Salvador Hernandez is 60 now, and he actually won gold at Sydney 2000 in the 2 and the 4. And he won silver in the Pan Ams last year. Keeps coming back for more. Thomas Gerspickler, rolling Tom. Silver in the 15 last year. His first world championship medals, 2002 in Lille. Gold in the 8 and the 15, the 5 and the marathon. He won 4 golds there. I keep mentioning occasionally, me and him were born on exactly the same day. Him in Salzburg and me slightly to the west. And look at him now. 17-time major champion.
Representing Austria.
So Thomas Gerspickler goes into for Austria. In lane 3 for Japan. Silver in the 400 here this week. The reigning 1500 meters champion. The reigning Paralympic 400 champion. Tomoki Sato. Sato Tomoki locally. Like Gerspickler, a man who first medaled at Sydney 2000. For Mexico, Salvador Hernandez. In lane 5 for Great Britain, 7 in the 100 last year, coached by Jenny Archer, former para boxer. He's been an animated character in an Idris Elba movie. He could be Bond as well. Marcus Perino-Daly. In 6 for Switzerland, silver in the 100 last year, Fabian Bloom. In lane 7, the Pan Am silver medalist last year in the 4, Christian Ortiz, 6 in the 400 here. And in lane 8 for Korea, the reigning Asian Games 200 meters champion, bronze in the 1, Jeong Jong-dae. This is some field. It's the top 3 and the next 2 fastest to go through. Gerspickler and Hernandez officially qualify as veterans, because if they don't, who does?
On your marks.
So Gerspickler Sato, Hernandez, Perrino Daly, Bloom, Torres, Zhong Yongdae. Top three to go through. Men's 100 meters. T52.
Sit.
Where the first time of asking, Torres of Colombia off to a very, very good start. And Hernandez as well for Mexico. It's Torres in 7. It's Hernandez in 4. Bit of a movement coming from Sato. He's going to make it. So Torres, Hernandez and Sato, the 1, 2, 3. 17:61, and they will all progress without a doubt. And the rest going to have to hang on. The great Raymond Martin still holds the championship record from London. Torres took that by 1/100 of a second over Hernandez, and Sato 17:80, 17.60, the winning time.
To get those wheelchairs going, you've got to have hand speed. And that was the display that we saw there. It's always this question of, okay, well, is a hand speed going to win out over the top end speed? You can see how close it is there. And actually, the line for the wheelchair racers, it's taken from the hub of the front wheel, not from the front of that wheel. But Torres Ortiz, again, just look at that hand speed. He's punching out about 4 strokes for 2 from everyone else, and he manages to hold that right to the end.
I mean, Torres is 43, and Hernandez Mondragon is 60, as I was saying, and Sato there is a young whippersnapper at the age of 34, just taken in the end by Torres. Well, they both wanted the win, didn't they? Those front wheels bouncing a little bit on the way, but they were all both going to go through anyway. And Tomoki Sato did very well to come through in 3rd spot, and they will meet again in the final. Christian Torres taking it, 17:60. Hernandez next, 17:61. Sato 3rd, 17:80. Bloom and Jung have to wait. Marcus Perrino Daly in 6th.
We've had some big movement over at the women's long jump. Denmark's Emilie An has gone into 2nd place, setting a new championship record of 4:52, overtaking what Japan's Maegawa did, and this is Maegawa's response. She jumped 4:41 in the 1st round to equal the championship record. She fouled the 2nd round, and she's now trying to lift herself up into 2nd place and take back that championship record. So the new mark now stands at 4:52. That's good on the board. That will get the white flag. I've given you a lot of numbers there. It's a little bit confusing. This is what we want to see. We want to see the different places chopping and changing as we go through these rounds. That is what makes these field events so, so exciting. Will she get above 4:52? You can see her there being coached by a man who knows a thing or two about long jump. 4:66. We have our 3rd championship record set in this women's long jump final.
Women's long jump T63 final currently on top.
That's hello, ready to go. We probably should have said hello to her husband, Scott Reardon, as well. I've no doubt that he's watching on at the moment. Hello, Scotty.
This is 16 centimeters off her world record from Canberra in January, by the way. 5:17 in this 2nd round. And she had set a world record a couple of times in Tokyo 3 years ago. 3rd attempt low. Flying.
Now you can just see Lowe there scooching out of the pit. The reason she's doing that could not be more perfect on the board. The reason she's scooching out of the pit is because she doesn't want to risk standing up and falling over in the pit and possibly ruining that fantastic jump that she has just done. Now you can see there just to the left, there is a blue line in between the 5 and 6 meter mark. That blue line represents the world record, and she was very near to that. 5:29, another championship record, just 4 centimeters off her world record. She is getting better with every jump.
Well, talking of getting better, there's a man going in this called Maxim Karaban.
Men's 100-meter.
He's already a world champion.
Round 1.
He's looking to do the 100 and 400 double yet again.
In lane 2, representing Thailand,
Ratnasiri of Thailand will go in lane 2, though.
In lane 3,
Discus of Lithuania in lane 3. He's already beaten the Discus here. He finished 4th in that.
In lane 4,
Maxime Caravan. He's won gold over the 400 here already. He is the defending champion in this one.
Representing Switzerland, Bosch
Beat Bosch. Failed to make the 400 meters final. He's the European champion. Perez Suarez of Mexico was 4th in the 400. Bronze last year in Paris. Bronze in Tokyo as well. Ito Tatsuya of Japan. Bronze in the 400 meters here at these championships. He's the Asian Paragames champion in this event. And Manglawan of the Philippines disqualified in the 400 meters for a lane infringement.
Men's 100-meter team.
We'll look to do better in this. Now Maxime Caravan will go in lane 4. Suffered a freak accident in handball back in 2019.
On your marks.
Tried a couple of individual sports. Para swimming, handboat racing, but he found this. And aren't we glad?
Please hold back.
So there's just a bit of a noise in the background there from the javelin, which is going on just over the yonder. So the athletes quite rightly have been asked to just wait for a moment. That's the men's javelin throw F13. There's a medium visual, at least in visual impairment, I should say, that's going on just to the left of where they're lining up. So
On your mark.
green card given. We'll start again. And by the way, Bloom 18.13 and John Day 18.34 are the 2 times in the hot seat at the moment for those who wish to qualify that don't finish in the top 3. There are just 3 that go through, and then we'll look for the 2 fastest qualifiers. And they get away, and we'll be looking for lane 4 in the red helmet there. It is Maxime Caravan, who's the defending champion. He's already taken victory here in the 400 metres, and he's flying out in front, and he will take the opening spot, but looking all right too out there is Ito and Perez Suarez, 16.77, and that is a championship record. So he holds the world record. He now has the championship record of 16.77. Does this never end this evening? It just continues on with world records and championship records. Ito is season best, 17.63. Perez Suarez goes through in the automatic qualification position of 17.77. 18.21 will be enough to see Pete burst through. He'll join Fabian Bloom in the final. The lane 4 there with the red helmet, Maxime Caravan, when he gets going after around 20 metres or so, he absolutely flies step free.
You can see at the beginning, he takes these 3 to 4 really strong pushes, getting that chair going, and then just keeps carrying that acceleration right through to the end. Typically, for the wheelchair racers, they're only just coming up to their top end speed at the end of that 100 meters. It can take, they probably don't hit top speed until about 150. And so this is an acceleration you have to carry right the way through.
Well, there's confirmation of championship record, season best for 2nd and 3rd. And Pete Bush will go through along with Fabian Bloom from that first heat as the lucky losers, fastest qualifiers, whatever you want to call them. But they will go through to the final. And talking of finals, isn't this some?
So this is how it looks at the halfway point of the long jump T63. Now, we've had a lot of movement. On her 3rd attempt, Tazawa of Japan managed to lift herself into 4th place after a bit of a rough start. She had a foul, then had 2 meters 34, and then had a 450, but she is still 2 centimeters off that bronze medal position.
Men's Javelin F13. This is the lowest category of visual impairment. It's 20% vision maximum, so it is still quite severe. Aguilera then, 55.77. He's up into 7th place here for Cuba. And that is thrown out. Wow, that is a good one over 55. That'll be an improvement. No doubt about that. Good competition so far. We'll catch you up on it very shortly. It is Dan Pembroke who leads right now. That will rise them up a few notches, no doubt about that. It's Great Britain 1, India 2, India 3, and Australia 4 right now. Through this man, Jackson Hamilton. Oceania record opening round, 58.47. That's going to fall right on 55. A continuously brilliant program that Australia have. Jackson Hamilton, one of the latest to emerge, and that's just shy of 45 in the end. Made his big debut last year at the Worlds. Quite a lot happening in the field right now, so we see Ali Perouge is currently in second spot, and that is beyond 60 meters. But I'm not sure it's beyond 62, 61 that we have already seen from him. He's given this a good go. The usual mandatory major roar. F13, so visual impairment involved here. You're not really going to see the athletes chuck themselves towards the line in the same fashion as you do in World Athletics. That's 61.5, and he stays in second.
Well, just confirmation of that heat number 2, Caravan, Ito and Perez Juarez definitely through. Bosch, the European champion, goes through as a fastest qualifier. Caravan with the championship record at the top of the pile, also through. Fabian Bloom from the opening heat. Championship records, season bests, world records, it's all happening this evening. Lifetime bests.
Dusk beginning to fall in Kobe. Beautiful evening. Don't know if there's many shepherds around here, but we have the red sky. And we've got a brilliant long jump final here.
We have had another big jump kicking off our our fourth round. So we're past the halfway point. You can see Vanessa Lowe there looking on, very calm, very composed. She has had an excellent start to her campaign. And right now we have Tozawa going. Big move in the third round. 450, but still 2 centimeters shy of that bronze medal position. Now that athlete was well behind the board. That will not improve her position. But just to catch you up on Arina Yaguchi, in the fourth round, she set an Asian record of 4:07. You can see there missing a lot of distance on that board, but that Asian record is because she is a T61 athlete. We can just see that there. Yaguchi in 6th place. Well, that woman has a lot to smile about, giving a kiss and a wave to the crowd. She has had a fantastic competition so far. She is getting better with every round. Jumping next is Ayan of Denmark. She was an elite gymnast. Her leg was amputated after a training accident in 2021, and she has said she loves to perform when people are watching. This is her championship debut. She will be loving the stadium, loving the crowds. She's come in and already set a lifetime, she's already set a championship record. Her lifetime best is 473. She's just 21 centimeters off that at the moment. She said she absolutely loves the adrenaline rush of competing. Now, one of the things you have to accept as a long jumper is you are going to get sand all over you. That's why they all have towels. You know, she's loving the camera. That mark for AN has come up at 4:32. Just wait for that to show on the screen as Magawa gets ready. Arms out. It's absolutely still on that runway at the moment. Socks not moving at all. And you can hear the crowd cheering her on down that runway. Now she has already jumped 4:66. And that jump looked good. Just see her building rhythm down that runway before that explosion off the board. And she is just perfection on the board at the moment. Just let you admire those slow motion shots. Sand kicking up like a wave. 4:55, it is not an improvement, and she will stay in second.
Etsu Yamamoto, her coach there, who's been in competition himself. He's one of the ambassadors for these games.
Vanessa's already having a fantastic competition. She's looking to get in on the fun of the crowd, asking them to cheer her down. She was very close to that world record mark. Now, the world record mark is that blue line just between the 5 and the 6. That one looked to come down just a bit earlier than that one. Bit of a smile from her. She knows that Scott Reardon and their son Matteo is watching and cheering her on. And the great thing about this competition, for so long, Vanessa Lowe was the only T61 female competing, and now we have 2 of them in here. Yaguchi, who will be jumping first in round 5.
Yuta Wako of Japan. As we enter the 4th round of the second half of the men's Javelin T13, we have lost Octavian Chuchaliuks of Romania, Emil Zdilna of Latvia, Haruki Masanari of Japan, Osvaldas Kukavicius of Lithuania, and Jon Cherny of Moldova. They are all out. Dan Pembroke leading for Great Britain, 64.79. Peru second for Iran, 62.61. Nick Pras third for Iran, 59.97. That is shy of 55. Wako's best so far, 55.67. We have had an Oceania record, as mentioned, from Jackson Hamilton in his second Worlds. 58.47. Loads happening here. Next up, Aguilera of Cuba. 56.23 is best so far. And that is beyond 55, so that looks like being his best of the night. It was an effort that maybe might generate a bit more satisfaction. It's a 61.11 man generally in his career. That's around 57. 56.71, he moves up into 6th position. On we go. Cabrera of Spain. 64.89 is lifetime best, and we generally see him on the podium, high up when it comes to European Championships. So can he get this towards that second line? And the answer is no, because he's not got it towards the first line. Wouldn't be surprised if he decides to take the foul there and walk through, but actually it's a white flag. He'll take the score, thank you very much. $51.65, and he does not improve. But this man is having a whale of a time right now. Dan Pembroke leading. Oceania record for Jackson Hamilton in the opening round. 58.47, made his debut at the Worlds last year. Oh, that's heading out towards 60. It's in and around the mark he's already done. Brilliant throw.
Just while we're waiting for that, we were due to have the men's 100 metres T54 getting underway at 3 minutes past 7. It looks as though it might be reversed with the women's 400 metres T53. They're out on the track at the moment, so it looks like the T54 men's 100 metres might just be put back in the program somewhat.
Well, it's keep pace with Jackson to see what he has produced here. Matechki will be coming up shortly. There's been no disqualification in the men's T54, I can tell you that, from earlier on. Good field in this. Matechki of Poland, regular European champion. Hamilton was given a belated red flag there, and he's just looking for a bit of an explanation why. Whether that will satisfy him or not, I'm not certain. He finished 7th with the outgoing Oceania record last year. From Western Australia, coached by Morgan Ward, he is. Not Matechki, I mean Jackson Hamilton. They're just reviewing that, I think, in the camera footage. So there's not much movement on the tracker in the men's Javelin F13 at the moment, but things will get into motion very swiftly.
Don't you love a major championships? Especially when you see a board like that. Season bests, Oceania records. Wonderful to see.
Yeah, Pembroke is having a whale of a time right now. The reigning world and Paralympic champion. He leads. Matechki coming now. Had a good look to make sure he wasn't fouling, but unfortunately just couldn't find a way through. .51.11. So no joy for him. We are hearing a lot of Elastica this week because Connection, or a version of it, has been one of their tunes of the week, and this might be one of the races of the week.
Women's 400 metres T53. The final is just about to get underway for that one. We were due to have the men's 100 metres T54, but it's been put back in the schedule somewhat. So the women's final due out.
Jessica Cooper
is out now.
in lane 7.
Jessica Lewis, fourth in the 100 metres, goes in lane 8. Gao Fang, silver in the 100 and silver in the 800, goes in 7. Hamide Dongagun, formerly Hamide Kerr, she goes in lane 6. Bronze in the 800 metres, bronze in the 100 metres.
Representing People's Republic
Zhao Hongjian, she's attempting the 100, 400, 800 treble. She's the two-time Paralympic champion.
In lane 4, representing Turkey, Asset
Zeynep Asset of Turkey. Fifth in the 100 metres.
Women's 400 meters.
She won silver
53
back in
final.
2018 in Berlin in the European Championships, and bronze in 2021 in the Europeans. No Catherine de Bruyne, who won here last year. She's not at these championships. Zhu has the championship record. Can she match that or go even better?
Sit.
So they get away. Asset in 4, Zhu in 5, Dongan in 6, Gao in 7, and Lewis goes in lane 8 in the women's 400 metres T53. And moving fast already, Gao Fang in lane 7. Dongagun's gone with her, and just smoothly moving on at the moment in the middle is Zhu Hongjian. we've been taken by the outside lanes, but Zhu, over that second 100 metres, as they move down towards the halfway point, is now moving very fast indeed, up towards 29 kilometres an hour. She's got a faster hand speed than the other two ladies who are outside of her, and she brings it around into the last 100 metres as they move with 100 to go. It is Zhu who leads out in front from her compatriot Gao Fang, and then further back there is just daylight. 54.58 is the time she comes across in, so that has broken her own championship record. It is a China 1-2 with Gao coming in second place. 54.57 is the time given to Zhao Hongzhuan. Gao with a season best 55.78, and Donghagan 58 on the dot for her, takes the bronze medal. Championship record for Zhu. She's done the treble. She had the 100 and 800 gold. She now has the 400 gold to go with it. She has 3 championship golds here. And what an athlete she is. Donghagan with the bronze medal for her for Tokyo. Adds to the bronze in the 100 and the 800. But it's all about the Chinese lady going in lane 5. Zhao Hongzhuan of China has done the treble of the 1, the 4 and the 800 metres.
I've been so pleasantly surprised by the fact that we've been seeing world records, championship records in both the ambulant runs and in the wheelchair races, because it is so hard to find a track that suits both of them. And I think the feeling was initially that this wasn't going to be a particularly fast track for the wheelchair racers, but the numbers speak for themselves. And I think we're going to look forward to a very exciting 5,000 meters later on. Back to the women's long jump. We are now in the final round, and you guessed it, we had another championship record in the 5th round. So we've seen a change of order. Japan now occupies positions 2 and 3. Now they both jumped the same mark, but Maegawa has a bigger backup jump. She jumped 4:55, whereas Tozawa's backup jump is 4:50. So this is Tozawa's last attempt to see if she can move herself up into silver, maybe even gold. But gold is pretty far right now. Now, I specifically was not talking during her runway because I wanted everyone to listen to the rhythm. Running with a blade, so much is about rhythm and flow, and you have to be patient. You have to build it. It's a little bit like changing the gears in a car. You can't skip one. That's how you end up at maximum speed, and that's how you fly off a blade. That was an excellent jump. 4:61. Now this is interesting because she does go ahead of Maegawa, because that backup jump is now bigger than Maegawa's backup jump at 4:51. It doesn't get much tighter than this. Now Maegawa's going to have some time to think about that, because Ayen of Denmark is up next. At one point, she was on the podium. This is the last gasp for her.
Well, she's going to have to come up with 15 centimetres. She's going to need to find. Here's Ayen of Denmark, and this is her final attempt. She'll have to put it all on the line. And she just falls a little bit short of the board there, so she won't be making an improvement of what she needs. I can tell you Marcus Rehm is down there at the landing point watching on. Vanessa Lowe, obviously former German athlete, now Australia in top spot, but Ayen didn't get what she needs.
You could just see it take off there. She lost her position, but this is a world champ's debut. She was an elite gymnast. Her leg was amputated after a training accident in 2001. This is just such... She's still so new in terms of being an amputee, let alone being an amputee sprinter, long jumper. What a fantastic debut for Ayen of Denmark. Now Maegawa has just seen herself drop from 2nd to 3rd. They have jumped the exact same distance, the difference being the 6 centimeters between their backup jump. This is to take back silver, but she knows it. It was a foul. Now, she said at the beginning she was tired of finishing off the podium. This time she will be a world champion medalist. That is the bronze for Magawa. Japan will take 2 medals in this event.
So we move on to the women's 400 meters T54 final. We're still waiting for the men's 100 T54, which was supposed to be about 20 minutes ago. Something is clearly up. Watch this space. Well, we have some absolutely great competitors in this. The 1500 meters champion Zhao Zhequan, Noé Alphonse, the 100 meters champion, the bronze medalist in it, Licia Musinelli, the 800 champ Merla Menya. What a field!
T54 final.
And there, Zhao Zhequan.
In lane 9.
In lane 9 for Switzerland. The bronze medalist of the 100 meters here, Licia Musinelli. In lane 8, the first ever gold medalist for Mauritius in a World Paralympics Championships happened in the 100 here for Noémie Alphonse. In lane 7 for China, the reigning Asian Games champion in this. Gold in the 5, silver in the 2, bronze in the 8 here for Tianya Zhuan. In lane 6 for Great Britain, 4th in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham 2 years ago, 4th in the 1500 final here for Glasgow, Scotland and Britain, Melanie Woods. In lane 5 for China, the 1500 meters world champion here, silver in the 1 and the 8 for the double Paralympic champion Zhao Zhequan. In lane 4 for Mauritius, 4th in the 100 meters here, 4th world championship for Brandy Perrine. Mauritius again. In lane 3 for Germany, the European 400 meters champion and 5,000 gold in the 8 here in the world. So Merla Menya of Germany. And in lane 2 for Switzerland, 6th world championship, the double 400 meters European champion for Alexandra Helbling. They've all achieved in their careers. Some have made history. Big sporting history for their countries. Might be more on the way here. The 1 lap, the T54 final. Helbling, Menya, Perrine, Zhao, Woods, Tian, Alphonse, Musinelli. One of these will be a champion in a minute's time. Women's 400 meters T54.
Fair. Thunder.
Just a little bit of hubbub around the stadium.
Show green card.
Well, Noémie Alphonse, what a sensation she made when she became her country's first ever medalist in a Para-Athletics Championship. They have never won a medal in a World Athletics Championship either. 1983, those began. 1993, the World Paras began. So it's Helbling in 2, Menya in 3, Perrine in 4, Zhao 5, Woods 6, Chan 7, Alphonse 8, Musinelli 9. Women's 400 meters, T54 final.
Fair.
They're away. Nice start by Alphonse in 8 from Mauritius. Tian in 7, Zhao in 5. Zhao has already worked hard to overtake Woods, and she means business in this, having already won the 1500 here, and silver's in the 1 of the 8. It's Alphonse who's leading the 100 meters. World champion looking for a big double here. Mauritius 1, China 2, China 3, Zhao and Tian just behind. Musinelli going well in 4th for Switzerland right now, and Woods in 5th. Alphonse out in front and doing brilliantly in this 400 final. But now the Chinese wave will come behind. Can she hold on? It's Zhao going well in 2nd place. It's Noémie Alphonse here from Mauritius, but Zhao overtakes. Zhao in the lead. Alphonse in second spot, trying to defend from Tian. It's going to be gold for Zhou. She takes it. Alphonse in second for Mauritius, and Tian in third. Zhao gets her second gold of the week and her fourth medal, full stop. Alphonse gets the silver. 54.88 for her, and Tian gets the bronze medal, her fourth medal of the week. Well, Noémie Alphonse, last year was silver and bronze. This year, it's gold and silver. She just keeps on making history for Mauritius. Woods, by the way, was fourth again for the second time. Alphonse got away well and led for a lot of it, but Zhao was with her all the way and just took control in the last 50 meters.
At the 200-meter mark, Alphonse still had a lead of about 3 meters. By the time it came around to 300 meters, that was cut down to less than a meter. And in the wheelchair 400, the best athletes in the world will get up to speed around about 150 to 200, and the best will then be able to hold that all the way to the end, and that's what Zhu does so well.
It's Ali Perouge. Oh, that's gone long, over 60. Taking that live because he's trying to overtake Dan Pembroke. Great win for Zhao. And Alphonse, well, I remember when she won that first medal, within 2 days, we're about 2 million had watched the video. I don't think the population of Mauritius is that big. Be millions and millions now. Zhao got that gold, Alphonse second, Tian third. And this by Ali Perouge, 63.15. Here comes Pembroke now. His penultimate throw. Falls just beyond 60 for the reigning world and Paralympic champion, who's a very talented, able-bodied javelin thrower, who's in the World Juniors in Moncton. Then had an elbow injury, kept him out of the Olympic Games in London. And then eye problems began. But he came into this realm and he's been darn good at it. Paralympic record as well to his name. Lives in Hereford. He's with Windsor, Slough, Eton and Hounslow. His coach is David Turner, trains in Loughborough. And on we go. 5,000 meters final of the T54. Now, we've seen this story before. You may remember it was run a few nights ago. A big crash, Saichin Kongen bundled over in the closing straight. This was it. Kongen making a big move on the outside. Al Rajahi on the way for Kuwait, and a big collision. 3 taken out, there was nowhere to go. And so it's, in the words of Lonnie Gordon, happening all over again. World record held by Marcel Hug. Set in Dubai back in February. Great field in this. There were so many who didn't reach the end of that race. This man won it. So Kongen, Yoshida, Al Rajahi, Liu, Lazani, and Higuchi.
I'm going to make an early prediction here. Twice I've seen races rerun, once in the T54 5,000 meters, and the same winner won the rerun. So I'm going to say Al Rajahi is going to claim gold here.
Al Rajahi took the honours for his first global title on Saturday. And there were discussions right through the night, right through the weekend, and the decision taken quite late on Sunday. They were going to rerun this. Al Rajahi 1, Higuchi 2, Liu 3, Alizani 4 was the original result. Ma Zhu ended up being disqualified, by the way, for the crash that involved Kongen. Ludwig Malta started that final, but he'd already pulled out, so he does not get to compete in this. Aria Tushida was the other athlete involved in the crash. So Saichin Kongen yet to win a global title. for Japan. Ryota Yoshida, semi-finalist in the 5 last year. Faisal El Rajahi, silver in the 8 last year in Paris.
Representing People's Republic of China, Luo
Global
Xingchuan.
championship debut for Lu Xingchuan.
Representing United Arab Emirates.
The UAE, it's Badr Al Hazani. And on the outside, silver in the 5 and bronze in the 15 in the 2013 Worlds in Lyon. 6th World Championship for Masayuki Oguchi.
Just a very quick one before this gets underway. The T54 100 metres that was supposed to take place just after 7 o'clock. There has been a protest and nothing has been decided yet as far as if it's going to be run this evening or not.
On your marks.
Always fun in the T54s. This is the 5,000 metres final. And away they go again. Originally 8 in the final, and now we have 6. It's Kongen, Yoshida, Al Rajahi, Lu, Al Hazani, and Oguchi, who are the 6 in this. Now, Saichun Kongen has gone out to the front straight away. He doesn't normally do this. He had hung back for the entirety of the final on Saturday night, and then began to bounce into the closing straight, shooting up from 6th to about 3rd. Then the big crash with Maju, and here we are again. Kongen and Yu and Yoshida are plodding along well at the moment, and Lu Yingzhan currently in 2nd spot. We started with 2 Chinese athletes in the original final, but not now, and it's Kongen who's bringing them around.
I was surprised too to see Kongen go to the front, because so often he's this athlete who you don't really find yourself talking about him in the middle of the race, because he's always in the middle of the pack, and yet he just knows how to pounce when the moment's right. But the thing about rerunning this race is that, to an extent, athletes have already shown their cards, and so it wouldn't make sense to go in and use the same strategy as before. But you can see there, Kongen has decided, I don't want to lead this out. I'm not giving people a free ride. It is time for someone else to take a turn. The problem is, no one's letting him in right now.
It's Lu who's having a little pop forward at the moment to go out in front. Lu Yingzhan. Kongen has picked up another championship medal in picking up the bronze, but the curiosity is, despite the fact that he has had a brilliant career, he has never won a global gold. But then there was a guy from Switzerland midway through the 2016 Paralympics. We said the same about him, and he's won every Paralympic final since then. Yu leads for China. Yoshida in 2nd place for Japan. Al Rajahi in 3rd right now. He's happy with it. He is tucked in. Al Rajahi of Kuwait, Al Hazani, the UAE in 4th. Oguchi in 5th, UAE, that lovely track in Dubai, the Centre for Athletes of Determination, which staged the 2019 World Parathletics Championship. That's the track where the world record was broken earlier in the year by Marcel Hoog, 9:13. He still holds the championship record from 2013. Stade Tyrone, that was my first World Championships. Hot all week there, and so was he, 10:20. He won loads of golds that week. So it's Yoshida out in front. Very happy right now with where he is placed. Somewhat sedate pace. We saw a lot of that in the original final, so don't worry about that too much. Al Rajahi in 2nd spot right now, and they're almost coming to a standstill as Yoshida comes over and tells Al Rajahi, well, come on, it's your turn now, because we've got 9 laps to go.
Yeah, it's all been very systematic at the moment, everyone taking turns, although I was very interested to see that Al Rajahi allowed someone in front of him, whereas he made Kongen go all the way to the back. And this is the problem. You don't want to get stuck at the back toward the tail end of the race. However, with 9 laps still to go, it's not such a big deal.
Well, no doubt about that. And Al Rajahi, he's obviously thinking, a man who had never before won a World Championship title, a global title, and he won it the other night, and then it got taken away through no fault of his own, through the carnage that was happening behind. It was kind of an open sesame moment for him, And here is Ali in the javelin. Final throw. He's in second spot. This to win it if he can.
Second spot at the moment, but he has some work to do. 63.15 his season best. 64.79 is what Dan Pembroke has. Pembroke has been imperious in the javelin throw. Reigning world, Paralympic and European champion. But that will not be enough because it's a foul that's been called. So Pembroke retains his title. He's done it yet again. Took it in Paris last year. He'll be back in Paris as the Paralympic champion, having also retained his World Championship crown. This the final throw of the men's javelin throw, F13. Last field event of the evening. Pembroke lets rip. It's out there. It's way out there.
Oh.
That is huge. 64.79 was the mark before that. The F13 world record set in 2017 by Alexander Sveshnikov. Now this may not be that, but it'll be pushing out towards it. Well, Pembroke went with 64.79 with his third attempt. A season best for him. I don't love it. 66.96. Dan Pembroke defends his title and takes the gold. Peru's with the silver. And Nick Parast takes the bronze medal. Season bests for the top four athletes. Handshakes all around. But it is that man there. Dan Pembroke, don't walk into the pole. You're the world champion.
Well, there was a major accident, of course, at the end of this final originally. It's Oguchi who leads the way. He finished second in the original final. It's his 6th world championship. He has not won a crown in 10 years. He leads Kongen. Oguchi in front. Kongen in second place. Al Rajahi, the original winner the other night, is in third. He's waited such a long time. We've got 5 laps to go. The pace quite sedate. And again, Oguchi is just shuffling over to allow Kongen to do some work and expose Kongen at the front, which is not what really the Thai man likes to do. So in his career, he's won 12 World Championship medals, 5 silvers, 7 bronze. He's won 8 Paralympic silvers and 5 bronzes, 25 global medals, and not a single one has been gold.
Now, I know we're going with the T54 5,000 here, but a bit of breaking news. The men's 100 metres T54 will now be tomorrow.
4 laps approaching. Kongen has done his work. Al Rajahi in second place. Yoshida in third. Just rolling through on the outside. Kongen has done a lot of work, a lot more than he's used to doing. And we have 4 laps remaining.
It's been such a fascinating 3 laps. We've seen there's been stretches where for about 20 to 30 meters, none of the athletes have pushed as they've all looked around and said, no, you take it, no, you take it. And then there have been sections of these little tiny bursts and the pack has broken up or expanded a little bit and then collapsed back together. But right now we are getting to the business end. And so with 4 laps to go, you kind of want to start thinking now about the position you want to be in. And you're right, I think Kongen is not so happy to find himself at the front. He's someone who likes to pounce, but provided the pace is slow enough, he will still have his closing kick.
Al Rajahi leads. Kongen on the outside, Al Rajahi on the inside. Wearing 2 is Yoshida on the inside, and now Liu Xingshan decides to make a move. He's shot out in front on his global championship debut. He's only 21, remember. He finished 3rd in the original final. He's obviously never won a major championship medal before. Let's see, global debut it is for him. Lou on the outside, 1,000 metres to go. Al Rajahi, the original winner, the original champion. Silver in the 8 last year, 4th in the 5,000 metres. He's been coming to World Championships since 2015. Is his moment still coming? Or is it going to be a new man in Liu? Liu Jingchuan leads the way. Al Rajahi behind, Kongen in 3rd. The acceleration's really coming now. Liu looking for glory with 2 laps to go.
You can see there we've got a bit of a separation now between the medals. If that top pack can keep going, they'll at least be able to guarantee themselves a bronze. And I have to say, I think Kongen has found himself in exactly the spot he wants to be. Drafting, saving energy, getting ready for that final push.
The top 3 between them have 0 global major championship medals between them, and it's slowed down again. They've allowed Yoshida, Alizani and Oguchi in with them again, and now there's a big move coming in the outside from Oguchi of Japan. It's Al Rajahi in front, Liu just behind. Kongen is boxed in a little bit at the moment. Al Rajahi, who won on Saturday night, trying to win on Thursday night at Kobe. There's the bell. It's Al Rajahi who leads the way. Now Kongen trying to find his way through, but surely it's going to have to be on the outside. Liu, the championship debutant, who finished 3rd originally. He's since finished 8th in the 1,500 metres final. Slimming back a little bit. It's Al Rajahi who leads. Kongen, who came late on Saturday and crashed out late. It's between these two now. It's Al Rajahi and Kongen in this 5,000 metres final in the rerun. Al Rajahi staying out in front. Kongen trying to come on the outside. It's Al Rajahi for Kuwait. It's Kongen here for Thailand. Al Rajahi takes the title. Kongen in 2nd and Liu in 3rd. 10:55.95. And the original winner is the rerun winner. His first global title. Kongen has 26 global medals now. He is still waiting for his first World Championship title. And just like Saturday night, there was a point when it looked like he was going to win. He did not win. Liu gets the bronze. A new name for us on the global stage. Al Rajahi gets the result of his life again.
I think we're all so pleased for Al Rajahi. I can just imagine when the official comes up to you to tell you that we're going to rerun the race that you have just become world champion in. But I think he knew there was a lot of action that went behind him. And as an athlete, you want to win when everyone is at their best and everything is fair. And I really did think perhaps Kongen was going to do it. There was a moment when he got boxed in by Luau. He still managed to find his way out, but Al Rajahi timed that perfectly, and he had the kick at the end to take it. They went head-to-head, and in the end, Al Rajahi beat him outright this time.
It was really interesting because Liu, when he went to the lead, after that period there, he was waving Al Rajahi through. With around 3 laps to go, he'd had enough. He went to the lead, he thought he'd try that, and then he came back, and his arm was moving to the side, waving Al Rajahi through, and Al Rajahi took over from there and continued on to win.
He's waited a long time for this. His 5th World Championship. And Faisal Al Rajahi takes the world title.
And you know what? You have to feel good for him because he was at the front of everything the other night when it happened behind him. I know what Steph's saying about the fact he wanted to be up against the best and give everyone a fair go, but he was at the front and he's done it again this evening. Fair play to him.
Yoshida 4, Oguchi 6 for Japan, the 2 home athletes. Oguchi was 2nd on Saturday night. He was 6th here. And this man has the relief. That great feeling he had on Saturday night, that he was finally a world champion. It was taken away through no fault of his own, but he's got it back now. What a finish. Faisal Al Rajahi, the world champion for Kuwait, 10:55.95. Kongen the silver for Thailand, and Liu gets the bronze for China. What a finish. What a race that was in the end. A magnificent outcome. And they have the gold.
Now, while we're with the T54, just to confirm that men's 100 metres T54 final was supposed to be this evening after those earlier heats. A protest went in, and the race will be run tomorrow. I can't tell you what time, but it will be run tomorrow.
It is Kuwait's 10th all-time gold at the World Paralympics Championships, going back to day one in 1994.
Women's 400 metres T53, confirmation of that championship record for Zhu. Gao Fang makes it a China 1-2, and Hamide Dongagan picks up the bronze medal in third place in that one. It is a treble for Zhao, 100, 400 and 800 at these championships.
Xu Xiaquan taking the women's 400 metres T54, her second gold of the week to go with a 15. Noelle Alphonse the silver for Mauritius to go with a 100 title, and Tianyu Xuan the bronze for China to go with a 5,000 gold. Thrilling night.
A competition that saw records falling all over the place. Championship records, area records, multiple championship records. In the end, Vanessa Lowe took that. But what a moment for this woman. Magawa has said she was tired of finishing off the podium. But here she leapt onto the bronze medal. Championship record 4:66. Her first world champion medal. Now she jumped the exact same distance as this woman, Japan's Tozawa. The difference being that Tozawa had the bigger backup jump.
Second is Iran's Hiroge.
This was Tozawa's crack at that championship record. She finished just off the podium at the World Championships last year. It is a 2-3 for Japan. They've had an excellent run in the long jump at this championships. But Vanessa Lowe was not to be beaten. She came in as the world record holder, setting it just a few months ago. We knew she was coming in top form. And you can see just how close that jump was to that world record mark. Watch for the blue marker on your left, just out of screen there. We can see it now, just between numbers 5 and number 6. In the end, she sailed out to 5 meters 29, sending out a message ahead of Paris 24, where she will meet the reigning world champion, or the previous world champion, Martina Caironi. Gold for Australia, silver and bronze for Japan.
And Matteo, you can go to bed now. Men's Javelin F13. Bit of a thriller this as well. Jackson Hamilton with an Oceania record in 5th, 58.72, but just slightly off the pace of the medals. Rand have had a very good week as usual, and this is Sajjad Nikparast coming up 62.30. In his career, he has gone just slightly further than that. This one going out just beyond the 60-meter line. That for the bronze. So Ali Perouz, he's been a 66 man in his career. This going out to 63.15. And that's the silver for Iran, but the defending world champion, the Paralympic champion, going out to new pastures, 66.96. He led and dominated all right, being supported by champions, and he is a great champion now in his own right for Great Britain. Got that one well out. He knew it was good. And it's 3 global titles in a row for the man based in Hereford. He started in secondary school, you know. And he's continuing on. He has his eye on glory. And another gold in Paris, the ambition. Pembroke gold, Great Britain. Perouge and Nick Brass, second and third for Iran. Very good improvement for Australia as well by Jackson Hamilton. A new Oceania record. 9:44 tomorrow morning for the rerun of the 100.
Women's shot put F33. This was the first field event to go out in the evening. New America's record for the Mexican Cordovera, who took the gold. Bronze in a lifetime best went to Svetlana Krivenok. Silver medalist back in 2019. 7:23 was her lifetime best heading into this. She went 26 centimeters past that. .749. Wu King, she was the first of the athletes to go. She smashed her lifetime best by well over 2 meters. New Asian record. .543 it was coming into it, her lifetime best. She's gone 2 meters and 11 centimeters further than that. Quite remarkable by Wu King. She takes a silver medal, a new Asian record, and then a new America's record for this lady, Cordovera, 7:77. Well out there. Bouchardar, the reigning champion, finished in 4th position. She couldn't get amongst the medals. That's because this lady here is now the new champion. Cordovera of Mexico with a new America's record takes gold. Wu with the silver, new Asian record, lifetime best for Krivenok, and it is 7:02 the best for Bouchardar. She misses out on the medals altogether, being the former champion now.
Men's discus throw F46 final. Now this one was exciting. We saw quite a few lead changes going on, particularly between positions 3rd and 4th. Now you recognize this face, Harrison Walsh. We just saw him cheering on Dan Pembroke. Coming into this final round, Harrison Walsh had found himself edged out of the medals into 4th place. And this is how he responded with a monster throw, the best one of his competition, 52.48. That is his first world medal. Ivan Katanušić of Croatia. His best attempt came also in the final round, 53.89. He'll be pleased with that. Paris last year, he finished just off the medals in 4th place. He likes that one. He repeats the silver medal he won in Tokyo. Katanušić is going home as the silver medalist. But no one could get near this man, David Blair. He is the world record holder. He was the only 60-meter thrower of the competition. That throw coming in round 5, 60 meters 13. Brilliant thrower all through university. Decided to take a 16-year break before realizing that he could compete in para-athletics, and we are so glad he came back into this sport. David Blair, your new world champion. USA takes the gold. Silver to Croatia and a bronze for Great Britain.
Well, David Blair may have thrown that over the moon. Norbakov, men's shot put, F35. Here's the gold medalist, Javelin Marty with the silver, Fu with the bronze. Season bests for the top three. And here is the bronze medal throw of Fu in the men's shot put, F35. He was a bronze medalist in the recent Paralympic Games. Also a bronze medalist in Paris last year. He's a bronze medalist here as well. It is a season best throw of 15.55. He'll be disappointed with that, but he has picked up a bronze medal as he heads towards Paris later in the year in the Paralympic Games. A former runner who claimed a silver medal in the Paralympics in 2008. Javelin Marty, Asian champion, season best 16.06 for him. He can't add the gold medal of the Worlds to the Asian Championship gold, but he's a happy man with a silver. 16.71 is his lifetime best. Couldn't get up near that, but he was happy with 16.06. Now the man who picked up the gold medal came into this as the reigning champion. He's also the Paralympic champion. Season best of 16.37. He won gold back in 2019. He won gold last year in Paris. And he's picked up a third consecutive one here as he looks to defend that Paralympic title later in the year as well. Kushnadin Norbakov has done it yet again. The proud man from Uzbekistan has done his nation proud. Season bests for the top three. Norbakov with the gold, Javelin Marty with the silver, and Fu with the bronze. The European champion Edgar Bergs finishes in fifth. Kavalov, a lifetime best for him, 15 centimetres off that bronze medal. The bell just about to toll for the end of the evening session. 2 days to go after this. And this was a big day. Thrilling Thursday, we can call it. There were 22 gold medals on offer. And we had multiple world records and championship records. Kobe has been a brilliant host. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. From me, Tolson Tollett, Will Downing and Steph Reed. Good night.